star in game number 1, but for the Mavericks, going back to their regular lineup and using the big man, the center, Eric Dampier will start, but they're going to need a better performance from Dirk Nowitzki, their star of the team. And of course, before we get underway, of course, all of us are happy that Reggie is back, but the passing of your mother, Carrie, has kept you away, and condolences from all of us to all of you. It's been a tough week.
Well, thank you, and I'd just like to thank everyone for their prayers, the flowers, the well wishes. The Miller family is very grateful, so thank you.
As for the game tonight, you would hope that the Warriors, who have won 5 straight games now here on the Dallas home floor, that the Mavericks have some sort of a fear for this Golden State team, Reggie.
Well, there's an old boxing analogy that styles make fights, and Coach Nelson's style is really a thorn in the side of Avery Johnson's Mavericks. He's not going to change anything. Let's see if Avery adapts to the style.
Don Nelson plays it one way and, of course, keeps his team extremely loose. And there is the man that has to deliver tonight, Dirk Nowitzki, only 14 points. And, of course, everyone on the Golden State side getting ready for Dirk's revenge, as they call it. And very rarely does Nowitzki have back-to-back off games, and no one knows that better than Don Nelson. The officials working tonight are Bennett Salvatore in his 25th year, James Capers and Sean Corbin. And there is Baron Davis, who did play more than 44 minutes coming off that surgery on his knee. And the rest of the Warriors. So the wake-up call, I think, Reggie, has been established, don't you?
Well, I know they're the number 8 seed, but they really feel that they're the superior team. And I know that's weird to say for a number 8 seed, but they've been one of the hottest teams the last month and a half of this NBA season.
And they won 9 of their last 10 with this lineup, with Al Harrington at 6'9", installed in the so-called center position. Howard getting it down low to Dampier. Passes out, and the three-point attempt is missed by Jason Terry. Scrambled for the loose ball, out of bounds, and it will be Dallas's possession.
And Dick, I've seen something that's unbelievable. Baron Davis was guarding Eric Dampier, 7 feet against 6'2", and the 7-footer is going to throw it out as Jason Terry comes up with the steal and the dunk.
And a 2-0 lead in favor of the Dallas Mavericks, but with Don Nelson, any matchup works for him. He wants to go small. Steven Jackson inside, lays it in. Steven Jackson, a big force early on with 23 points, shooting 50% from the field in game number 1.
Well, the advantage that Coach Nelson always has, too, is that he's going to switch everything. When your tallest player is 6'8", you can switch everything on the floor.
And Nowitzki misses his first shot of the game. Tip from Richardson, and now Harris with the steal. So Devin Harris with the steal. Try to pass it to Dampier off the glass. Nowitzki recovered, and he misses his second shot.
Well, transition defense is going to be huge for the Mavericks tonight. They got to get back in transition because there's going to be a lot of long shots on both teams. You got to be able to transition defense on both sides.
After Al Harrington's missed a 3, good pass that time from Josh Howard to Eric Dampier. And Dallas leads 4-2. This crowd revved up at the start, silent mostly in game number 1. And that's a big field goal for Monta Ellis, the second-year player who obviously had jitters, was tight in game 1, not much of a factor, and that'll help his confidence.
Well, I thought really only 2 players really showed up for the Golden State Warriors, Steven Jackson and Baron Davis. The other supporting cast look like some deer in headlights a little bit.
Howard gets the basket and the foul. So Josh Howard, who had his best performance on the defensive end in game number 1, wound up with 21 points, gets the field goal and a chance for the 3-point play. The foul is against Baron Davis.
Well, there's going to be mismatches all around the floor right here. Josh Howard does the nice pirouette right there for the and 1. But, you know, offensively, he was just okay in game 1. I think he can really step it up. Him and Jason Terry, to me, Dirk Nowitzki is the superstar and MVP caliber type player. But it's really Jason Terry, Jerry Stackhouse, and even Josh Howard, according to Avery Johnson, is really what gets this team going.
Here's Monta Ellis hitting his second shot in a row. So Ellis, who scored only 7 points on 2 for 7 shooting, has 2 field goals, and the Mavericks up by 1. Harris guarded by Ellis. Jason Richardson is defending Josh Howard. And in the lane, they go out to Howard. Richardson coming on, and the three-point attempt missed. And good box out that time by Harrington. And the feed to Richardson, and a great block in time. And the field goal is made. A great block by Devin Harris. And the basket scored by Ellis, who has 6 points. And we have a foul at the other end.
Well, do you think Devin Harris was trying to return the favor to Jason Richardson with that great block he had in game one? Here you think you have a wide open layup, and Devin Harris comes over the top for the block shot. Good follow-up by Monta Ellis.
Steven Jackson with the foul, and taking it out of bounds will be the Mavericks. Keep in mind that in the last 7 game twos that the Mavericks have played in the playoffs, they have won 6 out of 7. So they have shown ability to respond. Off the hands of Nowitzki, and here come the Warriors again, looking to take the lead. Jackson with a 3. Steven Jackson, who hit 3 from beyond the three-point line, giving Golden State a 4-point lead.
So Golden State is going to play the same way. They don't care if Avery Johnson goes bigger. They're going to play this small ball, and you're going to have to adapt to it. No one picks up Steven Jackson in transition.
And that'll be the second foul against Baron Davis. So Baron Davis picking up 2 in game number 1. Jason Richardson picked up 2 early fouls and ultimately stayed out of worse foul trouble. Here is Terry penetrating inside, blocked by Richardson, and here's a 3-on-1 now for Golden State, and Ellis fouled by Harris going to the basket.
Here's a nice block by Jason Richardson. Steven Jackson doing a good job of leading the break right there.
And Monta Ellis on the free throw line improved his scoring average by 10 points. Only 21 years old, had a big second year. As Ellis, out of Jackson, Mississippi, Lanier High School, tried to give Golden State an early 6-point lead, and he does. 13-7, the Warriors lead. 3.5 minutes gone by here in the first quarter.
And all of this is really without Baron Davis really getting involved offensively. We talked about the other guys stepping up. Monta Ellis having a big first quarter.
Baron Davis staying in the game with 2 fouls, as Don Nelson says he can only play 8 players. Howard missing from outside. Batting it out is Nowitzki, and now another 3-on-2 advantage. Here's Ellis driving the baseline for the basket. So the Warriors, with 9 fast break points already in this game, lead 15-7.
Avery Johnson needs a timeout right here to settle his ball club down a little bit.
And this is the big question tonight. You want to be focused going into this game, but the matchups don't work. 10 points for Ellis. Here are 2 of them.
And Monta Ellis, he was a doe in headlights last game. He's getting involved in game 2.
There's an exciting sound in travel. Southwest Airlines Ding. Get exclusive low fares sent directly to your desktop. Deals that are only available for a limited time and only by downloading Ding at southwest.com.
Having a half-ton with the most legroom and a fancy rear seat is great, but truckers want to know if it's still got some truck left in it. We'll put it this way. If it'll draw bar pull 6,400 pounds of dead weight, towing 10,100 pounds is a walk in the park. Hello, Dolly. Available on the all-new Tundra Crew Max, the truck that's changing it all.
Boy, the 80s were the good old days. Man, I looked skinny back then, too.
Chuck, do I really have to watch this just to get in your 5?
If you want to get in my 5, that's the least you can do. That's impressive.
Now, that was impressive. The way you squeeze into those tight little shorts.
Who's in your fave 5?
Sexy.
My fave's from T-Mobile. Unlimited calls to any 5 people, any number, even landlines.
We're going to talk about the block shot.
As soon as his feet left the ground, you know he's committed. Then you can leave your feet.
He just doesn't quit.
Remember, the secret of blocking a shot is to get possession of the ball. To block that shot and come down with it. Oh, what a play! So every time you do block a shot, please try to get the ball.
The 2007 NBA Playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Sonic, it's not just good, it's Sonic good. By the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. And by T-Mobile, official sponsor of the NBA.
Warriors have scored 11 straight points to take a 15-7 lead, and it's time for Gatorade around the cooler. Let's go to Pam Oliver.
Yeah, Dick, they are big on swagger here in the heart of Texas, so it has been hard for folks to deal with Dallas, the best team in basketball, failing to beat the Warriors yet again. In some circles, the second guessing has already started, but not in the Mavs locker room. So swear the players. They just basically have gotten back to basics. Had a long practice yesterday featuring lots of running and work on getting those loose balls and long rebounds. But what about poise? Josh Howard admits to a case of the jitters last time. He said he wasn't by himself. Dallas with a lot riding on this dick, and sometimes in game one, they sure acted like it. Back to you.
And that's right, Pam, and they're used to rebounding in game two, off to the slow start. And Al Harrington is hit in the face by Eric Dampier. And Avery Johnson, of course, who played under Don Nelson at Golden State. 2-7 against the Warriors. 0-5 against Golden State at home compared to his impressive record against the rest of the league.
Partner, sometimes, some teams are thorns in the sides, and this Golden State Warriors, because of Nelson, just so happened to be one of those teams.
And that's the playoff record for Avery Johnson. Here posting up is Baron Davis and falls off the rim. Baron Davis with 33 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists in game number one. Jerry Stackhouse into the game. He was scoreless in the first game, and Dirk Nowitzki hits the field goal. So Dirk Nowitzki, his first basket of the game, and cutting the Warrior lead to 6. Here's Jason Richardson. Three-point attempt missing. Nowitzki can't save it out of bounds. And it'll be Golden State's ball.
Well, what better way to get your franchise player off right here? Nice move by Jerry Stackhouse to go baseline. Two guys come over. No one rotates over to probably the leapless man in the building, Dirk Nowitzki.
Josh Howard defending against Baron Davis. Feeding to Richardson off his hands, and a 3-on-1. Ellis, the only player back for Golden State, and Devin Harris lays it in. So the Warriors coming back with 2 baskets, trailing by 4. And a field goal that time by Stephen Jackson. And Jackson now has 7, Ellis 10, and that's accounted for the Warriors' 17 points.
And normally, Dick, that would be a bad shot. But in this particular offense, that is exactly what Nelly wants. Speed up the offense.
Harris going baseline, getting the basket and drawing the foul. So Devin Harris, 19 points on 8 for 18 shooting in game one, and the foul called against Harrington.
Now, meeting with Coach Avery Johnson before the game, he said making layups was going to be pivotal for us. We felt that we missed a lot of layups in game one. We got to convert when we have the opportunity at the basket.
And Reggie, this is a team that really can't complain about getting offensive boards. They had 20 offensive rebounds in game one, but they missed 11 layups and shots within 3 feet. And you figure those are going to normally go in. Nearly halfway through this first quarter. Here is Baron Davis slicing through. Ellis with the fake, driving in, and Sagana Diop is there. The basket will count in the foul. So Diop, who replaced Eric Dampier in the lineup, committing the foul. And Ellis now 5 for 5 from the field. What a difference from game number 2.
Nice up and under move right here. Takes the contact from Diop right there. Love the extended left hand. This is a complete basketball player right here. In my opinion, the most improved this year. He should garnish that award.
16.5 points per game, the highest average among second-year players. And Ellis off to a great start with 13 points. Meanwhile, Devin Harris picking up his second foul. So Harris and Baron Davis each with 2. Sagana Diop. Howard against Richardson. 8 on the shot clock. Devin Harris, foul called. And Monta Ellis fouling Devin Harris, who will go to the free throw line. The Warriors leading by 6 with just under 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
And if you're Monta Ellis, you've got to understand who you're closing out to. Devin Harris, not known as being an outside shooter. You've got to close out under control, make him test this jump shot. Devin Harris wants to drive to the basket, which he did right there. Got him up in the air and drew contact.
Warriors will have the next 2 games on their home floor as Don Nelson, who wisecracked yesterday, said, "I'll get hit by lightning before we win the game." And of course, those are the mind games that he tells the public, but he tells the team it's got to be something else.
Well, not only does that put pressure on the Mavericks by saying you've got to win game 2, but if I'm Baron Davis or Al Harrington, I'm in the locker room saying, wait a minute, we kind of controlled game 1. You don't think we can win another game in here?
Well, you know he's telling his team something else.
Let's go out and show this old guy that we can win. So it works both ways in his advantage.
Richardson with a turnaround over Stackhouse. Nowitzki fighting for the rebound. Harris with the ball. He has scored the last 7 Dallas points, and they're going to call the offensive foul against Jerry Stackhouse. So Stackhouse 0 for 6 in game number 1, and the Mavericks bench was helpless.
And Steven Jackson, one of the better defenders for the Warriors right here, but his feet is outside the charge line. Good call there by Bennett Salvatore. And a lot of people say that this Warriors team, because of the small lineup, they don't play a lot of defense. But Baron Davis, Steven Jackson, great defenders.
And the three-point attempt missed by Monta Ellis, but the Warriors get another chance. Here's Jackson again, and he hits. So Steven Jackson with his second 3 of the game. He has 10. Ellis has 13. It's been a 2-man show for the Warriors, who are up by 7.
If you just look at the body language of these 2 teams, you would think the Golden State Warriors are the #1 seed in this series.
That's the way they played. They come in with a world of confidence, finishing the year winning 9 out of 10. And of course, 3 straight against these Mavericks, and overall 7 out of 8. And Don Nelson, who of course built the foundation of this Mavericks franchise in the latter years, coming back against his former team.
Well, you know, it's funny. That's how the basketball gods set things up.
Howard with the follow after Jobs miss. And the lead is 5 for Golden State.
No one even thought that Golden State was going to make the playoffs. The basketball gods allowed Nelly, the team that he used to coach, get into the playoffs to go against. Just how things work out.
Harrington inside, and they'll call the foul on Sagana Diop, and that will be his second personal foul. Diop. And we're going to have Devin George come into the game for the Mavericks. So Dirk Nowitzki going out of the game. Nowitzki with 2 points on 1 for 3 shooting thus far. And Devin George, who started game number 1, as Avery Johnson wanted the defensive effort by George against Baron Davis. Didn't quite work out.
Al should be licking his chops right here.
Harrington throws off the rim.
You got to take advantage. If I'm Al Harrington with Sagana Diop on me.
And the foul before the shot. And let's see if Bennett Salvatore calls it a 2-point shooting situation, and it will be, as Jerry Stackhouse will go to the line. And the second personal foul against Monta Ellis. So Jerry Stackhouse, rare scoreless game for him. As we said, 0 for 6. Only 3 other times has he had a career scoreless game, twice with the Detroit Pistons.
Very uncharacteristic of Jerry Stackhouse. Was 3rd in votes this year for the 6th man of the year. So a lot is expected of him in this series. If they're going to make a championship run, you're going to need bench production. And he leads this Maverick bench.
The lead is 3 for the Warriors. Stackhouse with his first points of the series. Jason Richardson, Steven Jackson, Al Harrington, Baron Davis, Matt Barnes into the game, and traveling is called, so the Warriors turn it over.
And you really can't fault Steven Jackson right there. That was almost like a heat check move. He's trying to test the defense a little bit, but you got Devin George, one of the better defenders for the Mavericks.
George guarded by Steven Jackson. Stackhouse by Matt Barnes, who's come in the game. Good ball movement The three missed by Howard, but Jump is there, and it drops. Good ball movement and the offensive rebound that time. Sagana Jump gets the hoop, and the three-point attempt by Baron Davis doesn't go. Warriors still have it, and a scramble underneath, and it's going to be a foul called against the Mavericks. This is a scrappy Golden State team, and they are a loose team, as Avery Johnson knows as well.
And this was something that Avery Johnson alluded to in the open, that second chance points weren't a problem. But Steven Jackson comes flying in for the offensive rebound. And you think just because your tallest player is 6'8", Steven Jackson might be 6'7", 6'8", but he has a wingspan that takes him up to about 6'11", 7 feet. So they've got great offensive rebounders on this Warrior ball club.
And really the symbol of that big trade that really turned the season around for the Warriors, the one made with Indiana on January 17th when Steven Jackson and Al Harrington came over, added some toughness. Jackson, of course, in particular, with Mike Dunleavy and Troy Murphy, the leading cast of characters, going over to Indiana. So with the free throws, a three-point lead, 25-22, 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Jason Terry now with 4 on the shot clock. Will fire the three. Loose ball. Richardson can't save it. And apparently he did, because in the air was the Dallas player, Sagana Diop, and so it will go over to Golden State. So he threw it off of Diop, and a timeout. The Golden State Warriors looking to really shock the basketball world, hoping to take a 2-0 lead on the road against the #1 seed.
Limeade at Sonic is so unique.
It's kind of like the corn dog of beverages. Just because it's unique. It's like the Coney of fountain drinks.
What does conies and corn dogs have anything to do with limeade?
I'm explaining an analogy to you. Do you know what that is, an analogy?
Yeah,
okay.
It's before digital.
Wait.
Cranberry limeade. Sonic's got it, others don't. Only at Sonic can you get a refreshing cranberry, cherry, strawberry, or classic limeade, because Sonic is your ultimate drink stop.
Many crew cabs on the road look like this. You wanted something with a little more meat on its bones. Sweet mercy. Introducing the all-new Tundra Crew Max. Ordinarily towing over 10,000 pounds meant eating your knees for lunch. You want a half-ton with the most legroom. For you and a meatball sub. Tasty. Available on the all-new Tundra Crew Max.
The drama of solving a crime comes from finding justice for someone who's seeking it.
There's a moment where the pieces all fit together.
I know what this looks like, Chief. This kid's no gangster.
That's what it's about.
The Closer, the all-new season.
Ball team home all season long with MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV. Whether you're a Chicago fan living in the East or a New York fan living out West, catch your favorite team no matter where you live with up to 60 out-of-market games a week. Non-stop baseball action you don't want to miss. And new on-screen scores and stats make every game a home game with MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV. Order by April 30th and save 20%.
WWE Backlash, live Sunday, April 29th on DirecTV.
Warriors lead the Mavericks 25-22. All of the 25 points by Golden State scored by 2 players. Steven Jackson with 12 and Monta Ellis, who has 13.
Well, Coach Nelson confessed his second-year player was a little nervous before his first playoff start, but he's coming out here with a little bit of fire in his eyes. A nice jump shot right here. And as he cleans up.
So they've had production from 2, and that's it. Baron Davis into the corner, 6 on the shot clock. 3-point attempt missed by Jackson. Loose ball, and unable to keep it in play is Devin George. So the Warriors get another chance.
Well, if you would have told me that the Warriors would be up 3 with Baron Davis, who had 33 points in Game 1, has 0 points on 0 for 2 shooting, I would be very surprised at that.
And I'm surprised that Jason Richardson has 0 points as well, and no longer as he lays it in. Jason Richardson with the basket. 5-point lead for the Warriors, who are shooting 53% from the field.
You must have known that was coming, partner. That's pretty good.
I got the game plan, see? George.
Baron Davis has to be very careful. He has 2 fouls. That easily could have been his 3rd right there. I'm surprised Nelly has gone this long with him.
Josh Howard driving in the paint. Well, he kept Richardson in Game 1 with 2 fouls, and he avoided the 3rd. And he really has no choice using 8 players. And Baron Davis goes up. The ball is stripped away by Josh Howard. And a 3 by Baron Davis. So Davis, who hit 4 of 7 from 3-point range, comes right back. And the Warriors just seem to come back right at you and lead by 4 with under a minute and a half to go in the first.
Not even 3 seconds ran off. The 24-second shot clock right there.
And here's Devin George posting up against Baron Davis. George gets another attempt, stripped away. Great defense inside by the Warriors. They collapsed around Devin George. And in rhythm, here's the 3-point attempt, missed by Jackson. And Job can't hold on to it. So all of a sudden, the Mavericks have shaky hands trying to keep the ball in play, and the Warriors get it back.
And the reason why Job is having problems with the ball right there, Matt Barnes, right here you see the good hands by block right there by Jason Richardson, his 2nd block of the night coming from weak side help.
Missing from the corner is Harrington. So here the Mavericks with under a minute remaining, trailing by 4. In game number 1, the Warriors were up by 6 after the first quarter.
Al Harrington has to attack his own job. He's letting him off the hook if he settles for the 17-footer.
Stackhouse misses, but the long rebound in the hands of Howard. About 16 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock here in the waning moments of the first quarter. Terry at the point. Driving in is Howard. Another offensive rebound. And now playing for the last shot are the Mavericks. Down by 4.
This Warriors defense, they are up and they're in here. They don't settle just for that zone. They play some good man-to-man defense.
And that's what they did in game number 1. Underrated defense for sure. Here is Terry driving in the paint, lays it in with 7/10 of a second left. Big basket by Terry, cutting the Warriors lead to 2. And Matt Barnes with the baseball pass. Jackson fires it up, and that'll do it. So the Golden State Warriors, who opened up an 8-point lead at one point, but Jason Terry helps bring the Mavericks back.
Tyler Perry has made millions laugh with his hit movies. This June, he's bringing his unique characters to television. Meet Curtis. He's got words of wisdom.
You ain't gonna be scared of no girl. Now drop your shoulder. Get your pit walk on.
He's got words of encouragement.
Clean that up.
He's got, well, lots of words.
And I'm rubbing you glue. Whatever you say bounce off me, stick back on you.
Don't miss the all-new comedy series House of Pain, Wednesdays at 9, premiering June 6th on TBS.
Yikes, you got the middle, but that's okay. You got Wendy's new Steakhouse Double Melt. You know how good the middle can be. Caramelized onions and mushrooms, bacon, creamy Swiss, and peppercorn sauce melted in the middle of 2 hot and juicy, fresh, never frozen beef patties. Good move, Mr. 14B. You just landed in the best position to do what tastes right.
The passage is intense, but if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Truck guys told us what matters in a half-ton is guts. So we gave this truck a big rear axle, a stronger frame, and the biggest honking bed. All to help it handle payloads of 2,000 pounds. Which answers the age-old question of how to put a ton of whatever in a half-ton bag. Available on the all-new full-size Tundra. The truck that's changing it all.
Man, that's an ugly sweater.
All right, Chuck, leave me alone. I'm trying to make this putt.
If you make this putt, I'll put you in my 5.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. I'm sorry, were you busy?
Who's in your fave 5? My faves from T-Mobile. Unlimited calls to any 5 people, any number, even landlines.
Don't worry about those guys.
I am just so sick of this.
Dude, what do you expect? You went with Geico.com. What, to save some money?
It's my life, okay?
Just a little loyalty would be nice, that's all.
What? Having Geico makes me less of a caveman?
Tina's here. We're getting back together.
Hey, give us a minute.
Geico.com. So easy, a caveman can do it.
And welcome back to Dallas, Texas, Game 2 of the best-of-7 Western Conference first-round matchup. The 8th seed Golden State Warriors in front of the Dallas Mavericks, who won 67 games, best record in their history. There you see the shooting percentage even at 48%. The rebounding is even, and an edge to the Warriors in the fast break points by a total of 12-8. And it's been a two-man gang for Don Nelson's team. It's Steven Jackson with 12, Monta Ellis with 13. And balance scoring for Dallas with Devin Harris and Josh Howard each with 7. Turnover, 2-on-1, and a foul. And Jason Richardson will be picking up his first personal foul. Richardson struggling from the field. Right now 5 for 17 in the series. And Michael Petrus has checked into the lineup for the Warriors as we start. Andres Beatrice comes in well. So Beatrice, Petrus, and Barnes are the 3 players off the bench that Don Nelson will use.
You know, and the longer this series goes on, the more chippier it's going to get. Baron Davis and Devin George kind of tangling up a little bit right there after that foul and chirping at one another. So that's what playoffs are all about, especially when you get locked in head-to-head with teams. Get a little feisty.
Well, TNT has a doubleheader again tomorrow, Reggie, but also on TV. NBA TV Thursday, Houston at Utah. Game 3 beginning at 9 o'clock. The Rockets are up 2-0. ESPN Friday. It'll be Chicago-Miami Game 3, followed by Dallas at Golden State. ABC Sunday, Chicago-Miami, Phoenix, and LA. Game 4's coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern Time. 1-point lead, 30-29, and here's Richardson, and trying to get the shooting eye back, banks it in, his 4th point of the game. And keep in mind, Dirk Nowitzki has been on the bench for a while, and the Mavericks have had an 11-9 edge with Nowitzki on the bench. And there's Jerry Stackhouse with the field goal. That is his first basket of this series. Double team, Petrus to Richardson, blocked by Howard. And Terry loses it to Matt Barnes. And Barnes will fire a 3 and hit. Matt Barnes with a tremendous effort in game number 1. Great hustle plays all over. They now rule it a 2-point basket. And the Warriors are up by 3, 34-31.
You talking about coming in the game with your guns loaded.
Petrus getting the rebound on Stackhouse's miss. Baron Davis picked up 2 fouls early. Monta Ellis picked up 2. Ellis on the bench right now. And the 3 missed by Baron Davis. And here come the Mavericks, trailing by 3. Opening minutes, 2nd quarter. Stackhouse driving in. Passes out to George. Offensive rebound. Stackhouse. Big block inside by Beatrice. And Richardson coming back and getting the basket at the other end. And that has been the way that the Golden State Warriors have performed.
Well, the delay of game right there on Baron Davis for following the shot in there by Jason Richardson. But what about the blocks on both ends? Josh Richardson makes the big block on Jason Richardson. And look at Biendrins right here with the follow-up block. Sometimes about being in the right place at the right time.
Eric Dampier, who started the game, back in there at center. Dampier playing a little over 4 minutes. And the jumper in the lane by Terry. 8 points for Terry. Tied with Howard for the Mavericks lead. The pass inside. And taking it out. It's 36-33. The Warriors in front. Richardson there along with Richardson, Baron Davis, Biendrins, and Matt Barnes. Steal by Howard. And Howard is offensive foul. Howard driving in, and Avery Johnson arguing with James Capers over that call. As the Mavericks had numbers there, and Howard called for the offensive foul, his second of the game.
What a risky play by Baron Davis. Easily could have picked up his third foul of this first half. And that's what everyone's questioning, as there's a Cuban who wasn't very happy after a lot of the calls after game one is in disbelief.
He was in disbelief in the way the game went in game number one. And of course, you're not going to like calls like that, and even ones that are closer. So the Warriors get it back. A little more than 3 minutes gone by in the second. Here's Baron Davis, and that's the kind of acceleration he made to the hoop in game number one. And Davis now with 5 points. And hitting the floor is Devin George. And they're going to call the foul on Barnes. That will be his first person.
Well, he played 43 minutes after game one, and everyone was wondering how his knee was going to respond. They've had a few days off. He said a lot of ice, a lot of electro stim, but it looks pretty good there going to the basket and finishing.
And he's going to have to play those minutes. Don Nelson says we have no choice. Josh Howard driving baseline, 10 points for Josh Howard, doing it more on the offensive end than he did in game number one. And it's a 3-point lead once again by the Warriors. And Biendrins, offensive foul on him as he knocked Howard to the floor.
And a little bit is Baron Davis' fault for putting him in that situation.
Golden State leading by a hair.
You know those stories you hear? A high school kid takes a job at McDonald's. They work hard, take advantage of opportunities. And years later, that kid who was working at one McDonald's now leads thousands. You believe those stories? I did.
You shot your wife. Allegedly. That's how it works, right? This thing was a setup.
Admit it was beautiful. Are you out of your mind? I think I decline to answer that one.
Fracture, rated R, now playing.
What can you expect? Expect less rent-a-car? The lowest rates around. But with rates this low, don't expect us to eliminate the lines at our airport counters. And don't expect us to put your name in lights and our cars under canopies to protect you from the weather. Protect you from the weather. Come on, who do you think we are, Hertz?
Hertz #1 Club Gold has protective canopies. No lines, no wrinkled fingers. It's another reason why we're Hertz and they're not.
The legend was born in 1965 in the storied swamp of Florida, where the scorching heat took a brutal toll on the Gators.
The players weren't adequately hydrated and their performance suffered.
The answer, a new carbohydrate electrolyte beverage created by University of Florida doctors.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
From the Gators' Orange Bowl triumph in '67 to their national title in '07, and for millions of athletes in between, the legend continues.
Now through April 30th, simply sign your name during the Lincoln Signature event. Now drive any '07 Lincoln with zero cash due at signing, including the new Lincoln MKZ with its award-winning interior, Get 0 first month's payment, 0 down, and 0 cash due at signing on Lincoln MKZ for $386 a month. Offer ends April 30th. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
From the guys who made Shaun of the Dead comes the best reviewed comedy of the year. It's outrageous, hilarious, and unmissable. It's a blast.
Get us back to the station, now!
Hot Fuzz, rated R, now play.
And welcome back. Golden State with a 3-point lead over the Dallas Mavericks. And tell you what, it's a hard job being Baron Davis sometimes. He's a starting point guard who rarely practices. His unpredictable surgically repaired knee just won't let him. Baron has to get to the arena about 3.5 hours ahead of time to gauge the flexibility of the knee on any given day. We charted his arrival this afternoon, and once he got to the arena, he got to lift to the locker room in a cart. And after that, he got settled in. He hits the court, takes a bunch of shots, but come tip-off, Davis tries to put the knee out of his mind, although it's not always easy.
5 points for Baron Davis as he goes to the bench. Also was poked in the eye and had some double vision for a while in his right eye, and Michael Petrus called for the foul. Dirk Nowitzki has come back into the game for the Dallas Mavericks. He sat for 7.5 minutes, Reggie, and has scored just 2 points on 1 for 3 shooting.
And that's unheard of for an MVP candidate. You want him on playoffs, you play anywhere upwards of 40 minutes to 45 minutes a game.
Here is Dirk with the fall away, and Nowitzki hits the basket. Dirk Nowitzki, they call it Dirk's revenge perhaps tonight. 4 for 16 and 14 points in game 1 as he brings the Mavericks to within a point. Jackson guarded by Devin Harris, and the foul call, and Devin Harris claiming he did not commit the foul. And that'll be 3 on Devin Harris. So a critical third foul, and Avery Johnson looking to his bench, and we'll see if Harris comes out.
Well, you're really going to have to pick your poison when you're guarding Steven Jackson. Is Jason Terry or Devin Harris going to guard Steven Jackson? And if so, Nelly is going to exploit that mismatch because they're trying to save their bigger defenders, Josh Howard, Devin George, Greg Buckner, who hasn't played tonight, to go against Baron Davis and those fouls. So, you know, Nelly's going to understand the mismatches and go after him. And Steven Jackson, who is fantastic in the post because he has the size advantage.
And that's mismatches sometimes work for you, even though you're playing small ball, and they do in that case. And Jackson with the 2 free throws. The Warriors are a perfect 7 for 7 from the line. And you saw Jerry Stackhouse come into the game for Harris. Sagana Diop is at the scorer's table. He'll be checking in next. And they have Matt Barnes trying to front Dirk Nowitzki, and a defensive 3-second violation called against the Warriors. Matt Barnes, you look at his neck, he has a tattoo that says "Believe." It'll be on his right side of his face, and he has had to believe in his career. Drafted by Memphis, waived by Cleveland and Seattle, played briefly with the Clippers, signed with Sacramento, traded to Philadelphia, had 2 months with the New York Knicks, went back to Philly before landing with Golden State, and a real scrapper.
Well, a lot of people don't know, before the trade and when Baron Davis was out, Matt Barnes was really their leading scorer for about a month of the season.
Here's Howard, guarded by Petrus, and shot clock expires. So good defense by Michael Petrus, not allowing Josh Howard to get off.
I'm telling you, since the January 17th trade, Steven Jackson and Al Harrington have been infectious on the defensive end for this Golden State Warriors team.
And that's the toughness that the team lacked before. They won 9 out of 10 to get in the playoffs, 16 of their last 21. And the pass into the lane picked off by Dirk Nowitzki. 2-point lead for the Golden State Warriors, and Nowitzki fouled, and Petrus gets called for that one, as Dirk will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Foul number 2, his second quarter team foul.
Want to hear what the coaches and players have to say about tonight's game? Well, log on to NBA.com immediately following the game for the live press conferences and the video highlights of the Warriors and the Mavericks exclusively on NBA.com. So Nowitzki misses his first free throw attempt, and Jason or Al Harrington, I should say, replaces Andres Biendrich.
Now, everyone's worried about Dirk, the subpar game. Superstars always find a way to score and bounce back. So I'm not worried over the course of the series if Dirk's going to get off or not. It's the other guys that they're going to have to really pick up their game to help him out.
Absolutely. Don Nelson predicted a breakout game for Nowitzki in game number 2. Here is Harrington, batted away by Sagana Diop, a 2-on-1 break. Howard with the lay-in. So the block shot resulting in the transition basket, and the Mavericks have taken a 41-40 lead, and a violation will give the ball back to Dallas as the Warriors did not inbound the ball.
Well, Matt Barnes was out of bounds, came in, and then threw the ball back to Monta Ellis, who we thought was going to take the ball out.
That's the 9th turnover in the game by the Warriors.
An elementary mistake right there. That's something you're taught in junior high basketball.
Monta Ellis has come back into the lineup. Here is Terry banking it in. So Terry now with 10 points, Howard with 12, leading the Mavericks, who have taken a 3-point lead, and that's their biggest lead of this game with 6.5 to play in the second quarter. Steven Jackson with a 3-point attempt misses. Stackhouse bringing it back.
See, I'm curious to see how the Warriors are going to respond. This young team that has nothing to lose. Let's see how they respond with a little adversity.
Terry hitting, and a foul. Jason Terry with the basket. Now, Dallas did have a 5-point lead in the third quarter of game 1, but this is quite a run as Petrus picks up his third, and a timeout called as the Dallas fans, seeing the kind of team that led the NBA with victories with 67.
And Jason Terry has to be one of these offensive inputs for the Dallas Mavericks, showing it right there, the enthusiasm.
Now through April 30th, all it takes is your signature. During the Mercury Signature event, there's no cash due at signing on any 07 Mercury. Like the Mercury Milan, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. That 0 first month's payment, 0 down, and 0 cash due at signing on Mercury Milan for $256 a month. Ends April 30th at your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Got an MLB mindset? You'll need it. The #1 baseball game is back. MLB 07, The Show. Rated E for everyone. Available.
Follow the curving Irish lanes long enough, and you'll find yourself in the town of Wicklow. And if you arrive on that most special day in Ireland, you'll find the town celebrating their favorite holiday in traditional fashion.
Hey, John, happy Cinco de Mayo!
Introducing the all-new Dodge Avenger. The all-new Dodge Avenger. It's a natural performer.
The 2007 NBA Playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Lincoln, Reach Higher, and by PlayStation 3. Play Beyond.
Well, Jason Terry coming off a subpar game 1, 6 of 14 shooting. Got the game off to a pretty good start. He comes up with the first steal of the game to get the Mavericks out to an early 2-0 lead. But everyone talks about Dirk Nowitzki. I believe it's the other guys, Josh Howard, and more importantly, Jason Terry, because he is a scoring point guard. And right here, the and one, when he gets it going, he's the one that gets this crowd enthusiastic and gets them flowing and gets everyone involved. So it's his offensive production that's going to be key for this series.
Best all-round season of his career for Jason Terry, who is his last 5 shots from the field and now has 13 points in the game. So the Mavericks have outscored the Warriors 13-2 in a little more than 2 minutes. And so, good point that you made. We'll see how these young and so-called reckless Warriors react to a run by the Mavericks, who are up by 6.
Well, Baron Davis is back on the floor right now. Hopefully he can be a steady influence for them.
In the paint and drives in. So amazing how he has played, coming back from the injured knee. Was out 8 games in February, came back and played through the knee problems. And Baron Davis with 7 points in the game, a 4-point Maverick lead. Here's Nowitzki. And Dirk off the rim. And here's Baron Davis again. Davis said he wanted to set up Jason Richardson and get him going in this game number 2. Richardson has scored 6 points. But here's Davis going in, and the foul as Jop and Howard were defending inside. And going to the line will be Baron Davis, and the foul is against Jop at his second personal.
And if Josh Howard is going to try and crowd Baron Davis right here, you see the nice crossover right here. And I'm going to tell you this is shades of last June. The player I'm thinking of is Dwayne Wade, how he attacked the Dallas Mavericks and put so much pressure on them. I think Baron Davis is taking the blueprint from Dwayne Wade and attacking the interior of the Dallas Mavericks.
Terrific analogy, Reggie, and there you see Howard going out of the game.
Not settling for a lot of outside shots. He's like, look, I'm going to put my head down, and I'm just going to attack the big man. They got to come over and help. I've got shooters on the outside. If they come, I dish it out.
Greg Buckner making his first appearance of the game, a defensive performer. So Stackhouse along with Buckner, Nowitzki, Jop, and Terry, and the ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Mavericks with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Harrington thus far in the game has not scored. He has missed all 4 of his shots after a 3 for 14 game 1. Open is Nowitzki, and he hits. 2-point basket by Dirk, who has 8. 4-point lead for Dallas as Nowitzki hitting the floor, and the foul called against Dirk Nowitzki. That'll be his first.
Yeah, this is the game plan. Dirk's out on the wing. Whoever has the basketball, they're going to attack him defensively. Not known for his defense, they're going to attack that front foot. Steven Jackson doing a good job of drawing the foul right there. And it's funny tonight, when Dirk has the ball on the offensive end, you haven't seen him really turn his back a lot, because that's where they were doubling a lot in game 1. A lot of just straightforward jump shots.
Devin George replaces Sagana Jop, and here is Davis again going to the hoop, and a good block by Buckner. Buckner with a terrific defensive play inside. And the Mavericks with 4:45 to go. Here is Terry. Had hit 5 in a row before that miss off the hands of Nowitzki, who seemingly had that offensive rebound. And the pass off of Harrington, and ruled last touch by Dallas.
Dangerous pass there by Steven Jackson. Good intentions, but get the ball to Baron Davis, Monta Ellis. Do what you do best. Get on the post and make threes. You're not a playmaker.
Golden State shooting 47% from the field. The Mavericks now 53%. After a 35% shooting effort in game 1. Richardson from 3 off the rim, and quickly back is Dallas. Nowitzki defended by Jackson on the post-up. Stackhouse couldn't get it off. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Good D by Steven Jackson.
And the double team on Nowitzki. No foul called, and George.
That's textbook.
Cannot save it.
That is textbook defense by Steven Jackson.
The timing of the double team on Nowitzki was wondrous as well.
Well, I wonder where they get this timing from. You see right here, Dirk Nowitzki is going to try to go baseline, and here comes the help right here by Jason Richardson. So they understand, maybe if he puts the basketball down once or twice, or if he goes to his left, there's so many rules that Coach Nelson has for Dirk Nowitzki. It's unbelievable.
And won't reveal it to anyone who asks.
I tried to ask him, but he wouldn't tell me.
Richardson going into the corner, and here's a three-point attempt missed by Monta Ellis. Still controlled by the Warriors. Pass out to Jackson. Dallas leading Golden State 48-44. 3:40 to go. The crossover attempt, and Stephen Jackson claiming that he was fouled to no avail. Stackhouse with a left-handed layup. So Stackhouse now with 6, and the Mavericks again match their biggest lead of the game. 6-point lead and a great spin move by Stephen Jackson, who has 16. And Golden State hangs in there as we wind down to 3 minutes to go in the first half.
Okay, that one took 4 seconds off the shot clock.
And a timeout called by Avery Johnson. So the Mavericks with a big 13-2 run at one time, but the Warriors undeterred. They've been playing loose basketball. That's been the symbol under Don Nelson. And the Mavericks lead by 4 as we take a timeout.
Where do you want to go with your free flight? They're easy to earn on Southwest Airlines. With Rapid Rewards, there's no counting miles. Just fly 8 round trips.
You are now free to move about the country.
Now through April 30th, simply sign your name during the Lincoln Signature event. Now drive any 07 Lincoln with 0 cash due at signing, including the new Lincoln MKZ with its award-winning interior. Get 0 first month's payment, 0 down, and 0 cash due at signing on Lincoln MKZ for $386 a month. Offer ends April 30th. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Boy, the 80s were the good old days. Man, I looked skinny back then, too.
Chuck, do I really have to watch this just to get in your 5?
If you want to get in my 5, that's the least you can do. That's impressive.
Now, that was impressive. The way you squeeze into those tight little shorts.
Who's in your fave 5?
Sexy.
My fave's from T-Mobile. Unlimited calls to any 5 people, any number, even landlines.
Take me out to Esurance. Take me to Savings Online. Auto insurance that's hassle-free. When you buy it, instantly let me quote. Buy quick at Esurance. If you don't save, it's a shame. For it's $100, $200, $300 you could save with the Esurance name.
Save time and money on your auto insurance at Esurance.
In game number 2, now it's time for tonight's Hurts Around the League. Coaches Carousel. Rick Carlisle was fired today from the Pacers. Earlier, Eric Musselman, Bob Hill of the Sonics the other day, and Larry Brown getting permission from the Sixers to interview for the Grizzlies job. Reggie?
You know, that's funny. 3 out of the 4 coaches right there, Carlisle, Bob Hill, and Larry Brown, I all was under their regime right there, so I'm sure Carlisle will serve us somewhere. There's so many openings that are coming up. Tremendous coaches, all 3 of them, for me personally.
And 2 tremendous coaches in this game, and Avery Johnson and Don Nelson. 8 on the shot clock. Here's Buckner. And a 3-second violation called against the Mavericks. Will turn it over to Golden State. At halftime of game number 1, Avery Johnson's Mavs and the Warriors were tied at 38-38, so this is a much higher scoring game, which was anticipated when this series started.
Well, partner, I bring excitement. I bring points with me.
Yes, you do.
I want these guys to put it up, get it going. I bring excitement.
You talk about how the Warriors scoring with 3 seconds and used to do that on a separate possession. Ball knocked away from Baron Davis, and Buckner kicks it out of bounds, and the officials not clear on how they rule it, and they finally say it is Golden State's possession. Checking in there for the Warriors, we have Baron Davis, Jason Richardson, Matt Barnes, Monta Ellis, and Steven Jackson. Under 2.5 to play, first half. Davis bumped by Buckner, and the foul. That'll be the 4th team foul against the Mavericks, so not a shooting situation.
And I'm going to tell you, I watched the last regular season game between these two when Avery Johnson sat Josh Howard and Dirk Nowitzki for the whole game. Greg Buckner and Baron Davis kind of got into it a little bit. They had to be separated. They was talking about, we'll see y'all in the first round. So.
Nowitzki blocking Monta Ellis inside, and Stackhouse on the break, and the foul there. The Mavericks definitely getting out better on the fast break on missed field goals at the other end than they did in game number 1. And Matt Barnes picking up his 2nd foul. And the Warriors have been in the penalty, so Stackhouse will shoot his hair. Right now, let's check into our Atlanta studios and Ernie Johnson. EJ.
All right, thank you, Dick. Cleveland had a 14-point lead in the 4th quarter, but Washington came roaring back. That 3-point attempt by Antoine Jamison could have cut the lead to 2. Cleveland holds on to win it 109-102, Game 3 on TNT Saturday.
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. So LeBron James and the Cavaliers with a 2-0 lead in the series. Stackhouse makes 1 out of 2. Michael Petrus coming on in for the Warriors. 5-point lead for the Mavericks. Their biggest lead was 6, and they're going to call Buckner for another foul. And Buckner talking things over with Bennett Salvatore. That is the 15th foul, and the Warriors will shoot 2.
And Greg Buckner, the reason why he's in the ball game is to guard Baron Davis and to cause a little bit of, I call
he fouled
turmoil.
Jackson there.
Yeah, he fouled Jackson right there. Steven Jackson, or Bennett Salvatore said he threw an elbow right there, which I really didn't see. If anything, incidental contact. But partner, you talked about the fast break points in game 1. You know, 24-10 in the Warriors' favor. 24 fast break points for the Warriors tonight. All tied up 14 apiece. So Dallas doing a concentrated effort of trying to run with these Golden State Warriors.
And they can play any style you want, the Mavericks. And that's the beauty of this kind of a versatile team that Avery Johnson has. Under 2 minutes to go after 1 free throw for Jackson, 51-47. Terry firing up a 3. And here is Jason Richardson. Terry picking him up and preventing a fast break there. Good alert play by Terry. Jackson hitting the 3. That's the 3rd three-pointer of the night for Steven Jackson. And the Mavericks lead has been cut to 1. So that's the Warriors' first 3-point hoop of the quarter. They have missed 8 of their last 9 before Jackson connected. And here is Stackhouse going for 3. And the offensive rebound by Devin George, and he's fouled. Good hustle by Devin George. And he will go to the line to shoot 2. And 4 fouls for Michael Petrus. 4 on Petrus.
And normally, people are like, you've got to move the basketball from side to side, but that is not Don Nelson's style nor his offense. It's the first guy that gets the first available look. And tonight, Steven Jackson has been getting it going all night as Mikal Petrus picked up his 4th personal foul.
Jackson with 20 points after a good first game, and George, who's a 75% free throw shooter, misses the first. Petrus with 4 fouls goes out of the game and replaced by Monta Ellis. 1 out of 2 for George. Mavericks have missed 4 of 16 free throws. The Warriors 1 of 11.
And look at Greg Buckner. All he's doing is shadowing Baron Davis. The switch right here.
Job guarding Davis. Going out, and the extra pass to Barnes at the top. Misses the 3. Sagana Diop clears it with under a minute to go, and a 2-point lead for the Mavericks. They were up by 2 after the first quarter. Crowd on its feet now. Mavericks showing a lot more, but remember we had a tie after the half in game number 1, and this is a 2-point game. Terry with 2 on the shot clock with a fall away hitting. Terry now with 15 points on 7 of 12 shooting and a 4-point lead. And here is Jackson with a 2-point attempt. Jop getting the rebound. And Dallas with the possession and a differential of about just under 5 seconds.
Well, this could be a big stop for the Golden State Warriors or a huge bucket for the Dallas Mavericks.
Mavericks' biggest lead 6. They're up by 4. Terry going in. The ball stripped away by Barnes. Here is Davis the other way, and he gets the lay-in. 1.3 on the clock. And again, the Warriors cut the Maverick lead to 2. Stackhouse, and he loses it. So 0.4 of a second, and the Warriors can get off the last shot here.
Don Nelson's going to call a 20-second timeout to try and diagram a play right here, which has to be a catch and shoot. I believe almost an alley-oop.
So let's take a look at what has been a feverish Western Conference playoff. Second game of this series, the Rockets held serve, winning 2 against Utah in the first 2 games. The San Antonio Spurs came back and evened their best of 7 against Denver 1-1. And Phoenix impressively with a 2-0 lead over the Lakers.
And you know, it's almost you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. They're saying Kobe Bryant is taking too many shots in game 1. He needs to distribute the ball. He tries to come out in game 2 and does that, and they get destroyed by 30. You know, what are you going to do?
Well, against Phoenix, you're going to have to play, as Charles Barkley said, a perfect game to even have a chance. So Steven Jackson will inbound, and as Reggie said, they've got to get it done in a hurry, and they won't. Ball's tipped away by Terry, and that is the end of the first half. So we were tied after halftime of game 1, and the Dallas Mavericks with a 2-point lead. They went on a good stretch, but the Golden State Warriors hung in there. And there you see the leading scorer, Steven Jackson with 20 for the Warriors, Jason Terry with 15 for Dallas, and he's with Pam Oliver.
Yes, he is. Nice work, too, Jason Terry. A lot of things you guys talked about you seem to be able to pull off, but yet Golden State is not going away.
Still too many turnovers. Too many turnovers. As you see, I turn it over, they get an easy basket. That's what this team lives off of, turnovers and creating easy baskets.
Dirk Nowitzki still hasn't found his groove, but you're getting in yours and help from other teammates. Talk about that.
Yeah, hopefully as a team collectively we can get Dirk off by being aggressive and attacking ourselves.
What are some of the things you expect to hear from Avery when you go in?
Protect the ball, be strong, and go for the kill.
Gotcha. Thank you. Let's go back to the studios in Atlanta and Ernie Jackson.
All right, thank you very much, Pam. It's time for the T-Mobile halftime report. Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley ready with their insights on the first 24 minutes. And, man, 54-52. Dallas with the lead over Golden State. You talk about a confident number 8 seed. That is the Warriors, who lead the series 1-0. Huh? Oh,
that's about to end.
Their confidence is about to end?
Because let me just tell you something. I'm going to go out on a limb.
Uh-huh.
After...
Hope that's a strong limb. Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
After Dallas wins the game tonight.
Oh, so that's one statement. Dallas will win the game tonight.
They're going to win the next 3 after that.
Whoa.
So they're going to win 4 straight games.
4 straight games.
You know, Golden State, they're free stroking it pretty much, but I think they take terrible shots. The only time they take terrible shots. And sometimes they go in. But I think now, once they lose, they'll realize they're actually in the playoffs. And I think Dallas will win the next 4 games.
Kenny's pictures, that is pretty bold. Kenny's pictures deal with what Avery Johnson has done between games 1 and 2.
Yes, and an adjustment. So actually putting back the, starting your regular lineup and you're going big. And what that enabled Avery to do was basically have guys play their natural position. So now you have a shot blocker inside. Even though this is not Dampier, it's Diop, but he's a shot blocker, which you didn't have when you have a small lineup. And now you're off to the races and you get layups. Then also what it does, your pick and roll is a lot stronger because you have a big guy rolling to the basket, which enables your guards to get to the rim. So you're playing what Golden State wants to do. They want you to play unconventional and uncomfortable. what that does when you play your normal lineups is make you comfortable again. It makes your best point guard play the point guard position, your best two guard play two, and so on and so forth. That's what you have to do. You can't be uncomfortable.
Question for you, Charles.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the world is round, Ernie. It's not flat. Well, that wasn't the one?
They can win 4 straight against this team if Dirk Nowitzki continues to play like he is right now?
Yeah, because I mean,
is Dirk playing like a superstar? You said you got to play like a superstar. He's got 8 points on 3 of 7.
That's because he's reverted back to the old Dirk Nowitzki who wants to live on the jumper. When you're 7 feet tall and they got a 6'5" guy guarding you, you're not going to out-quick him. So why are you shooting jumpers? Go down to the box. You know, last year in the playoffs, he did the same thing a couple years ago, trying to out-quick Bruce Bowen. Then last year, he's like, I got a little guy guarding me. Why don't I go down there and post him up? And that's what's a game-winning shot to send the game in overtime. And now you see when he gets the ball out on the floor, the double team is coming. If he's on the box, they can't get there. I don't understand why he doesn't understand that. If you get the ball out on the floor, try to dribble, they're coming on the dribble. They're coming on that second dribble, basically. But now, go to the box. Then they can't get there. And also, you can get some offensive rebounds. Man, these guys make the game so damn hard.
It is a 2-point
game. It's a very simple game.
At the half.
It ain't just no hat rack.
Steven Jackson has 20, by the way, and Jason Terry has 15.
It's not a hat rack. It's a brain.
Tomorrow night, Orlando and Detroit, Suns and Lakers. That's our double dip here on TNT.
Lakers better speed that game up because they can't slow it down. It's not working. Go to plan B.
Welcome to the T-Mobile Halftime Report. T-Mobile, official wireless services partner of the NBA.
Welcome to subliminal advertising. Don't worry, it will only affect your brain.
Complete.
Now through April 30th, simply sign your name during the Lincoln Signature event. Now drive any 07 Lincoln with 0 cash due at signing, including the new Lincoln MKZ with its award-winning interior. Get 0 first month's payment, 0 down, and 0 cash due at signing on Lincoln MKZ for $386 a month. Offer ends April 30th. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Gotcha, boy. Everyone's talking about the #1 DVD in America. Night at the Museum. Own the #1 DVD today.
I've been doing a lot of thinking about this. Lunch, we've been tight for a long time. Dinner, I couldn't do it without you. But I gotta say, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And that's why I'm serving breakfast all day.
Yes! I've always heard people say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but coming from you, Jack, this is just awesome!
The most important meal. Served all day.
Well, that...
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside.
That was a perfect strike, and you know it. Of course, if this chump were watching in DirecTV HD, he'd have made the right call. It's broadcast in 1080i, which means it's cool. Now, let's see how this bruise looks in HD.
Vaughn into his motion and the pitch. Uh-oh.
For the most sports in HD, you gotta get DirecTV.
Testing.
Jack, is Hurts there yet?
Oh, here he comes, here he comes.
Hey, Hurts! They came and got me.
We came and got you.
They came and got him.
So, you'll bill my insurance?
We'll bill your insurance.
I'll bill his insurance. You're gonna nail me with the replacement rates, right?
No, we even offer one-way rentals.
Who do they think they are? Yeah, who do you think you are? Hurts.
And you are?
Well, I'm not a spy.
Hertz Local Edition. Another reason why we're Hertz, and they're not.
Today, discover the dinosaurs and meet the monkeys in the biggest comedy adventure in history.
Why are you slapping a monkey? This guy's been pushing me, and I'm sick of it.
Night at the Museum on DVD today.
No way.
He is going to work.
T-Mobile halftime report continues with highlights of the Nuggets and Spurs, and there Iverson and Melo combined for 61 points in Game 1. See what they could do with Game 2 at San Antonio.
They missed so many easy baskets.
You know, but that was the same thing in San Antonio in Game 1. Guys just want good shots. Sometimes shots don't go in. Ernie didn't believe it, but everybody else knows that.
I mean, because look at this one. This is, you can't get better than this.
You can't get a better shot. See, Ernie, you can't have a bad night.
I know,
the ball.
I'm just saying it's rare for three guys like San Antonio did in Game 1. At any rate, this is Game 2, and there's Tim Duncan.
Who did not have a
getting the roll. 56 to 43. More Duncan.
Man.
58-45.
Somebody's going to have to break his neck to get him to get a foul call, I think.
Duncan finding the open man. It's Bruce Bowen in the corner.
You know who played well for San Antonio tonight? It won't be in the stat sheet as Michael Finley. Played very well.
Yes, he did. Oberto played well, too.
Well, maybe it will be in the stat sheet. Oberto played well also.
The mid-range jumper. It is 82-65, 17-point fourth quarter lead. Here comes Denver.
Because they kept getting good shots. They didn't force bad shots. So that's why they were able to stay in the game. And Allen Iverson, all of a sudden, he can make bad shots into good shots.
That's fine. What a heck of a pass.
23-9 run for Denver. Now Iverson again.
Time you have a guy who can finish shots.
Look at this, 91-88 with under a minute to play. Where do you go? You go to Tim Duncan.
Foul.
Payne on him.
Foul.
No.
Man.
Glass, 93-88.
That's a foul, man. They got to get that boy them calls.
San Antonio hangs on, 97-88, evening the series at a game apiece. They go to Denver on Saturday for Game 3, which should be a doozy, with the series tied at a game apiece. Duncan going for 22-7 in San Antonio's win. Meantime, Dallas trying to even things up with Golden State. The Jets had himself a pretty good first half, 15 points.
Oh.
Yeah, so have you. 54-52.
Boy, the 80s were the good old days. Man, I looked skinny back then, too.
Chuck, do I really have to watch this just to get in your 5?
If you want to get in my 5, that's the least you can do. That's impressive.
Now, that was impressive. The way you squeeze into those tight little shorts.
Who's in your fave 5?
Sexy.
My faves from T-Mobile. Unlimited calls to any 5 people, any number, even landlines.
We took the Land Rover LR3 and compared it to the Hyundai Santa Fe. The Santa Fe beat the Land Rover in the 0 to 60 test and in the quarter-mile test. It also beat the Land Rover on the dry slalom and the wet slalom course, as well as in dry and wet accident avoidance tests. But the Land Rover did beat the Santa Fe in number of cup holders. Well, you can't win everything. The Hyundai Santa Fe, $13,000 less than the Land Rover and a few less cup holders. Hyundai.
Sponge. I'm picking De La Hoya.
Doctor, I'm picking Mayweather.
It's Mayweather!
It's De La Hoya!
Roger that, I'm picking Mayweather.
It's De La Hoya!
The world is talking.
Crowd's getting their money's worth in Vegas.
De La Hoya Mayweather. The world awaits. Who are you picking?
Mayweather, absolutely.
De La Hoya, definitely.
Don't miss it. Live on DirecTV Pay-Per-View, Channel 123.
It's like riding shotgun with NASCAR's top drivers. Introducing NASCAR Hot Pass, only on DirecTV. Choose from 5 top drivers each week and follow their team from start to finish. Constantly monitor the car's telemetry and hear live audio communications between the driver and pit crew.
One outside right now. Clear up right there.
NASCAR Hot Pass, only on DirecTV.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use or dissemination of this telecast or the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Want to enhance your enjoyment of the NBA playoffs? You don't have to just watch TNT. You can check it out, TNT Overtime on NBA.com. There's so much on there, I can't even begin to list the features you can see on there. So check it out for yourself. TNT Overtime on NBA.com.
Thanks for watching the T-Mobile Halftime Report. T-Mobile, official wireless services partner of the NBA.
When your insurance is in sync, you can roll with anything, travelers.
Great to see you guys.
At Haier, we're thrilled to bring you the latest technology
The kitchen is fabulous.
with the most innovative and stylish appliances
This is amazing.
Don't forget, switch it back to freezer.
that make every room in your home come to life.
It's incredibly quiet with 2 temperature zones.
Especially the ones where you'll find leading-edge products like our LCDs and plasmas in full high def.
Whoa, 1080p. Awesome.
Haier, official marketing partner of the NBA.
The legend was born in 1965 in the storied swamp of Florida, where the scorching heat took a brutal toll on the Gators.
The players weren't adequately hydrated and their performance suffered.
The answer, a new carbohydrate electrolyte beverage created by University of Florida doctors.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
From the Gators' Orange Bowl triumph in '67 to their national title in '07. And for millions of athletes in between, the legend continues.
When you search for a car at Autotrader.com, we send more cars your way than anyone. A lot more cars. So you can narrow it down by model, the color, even the price. And when you search from the largest selection,
That's the one.
you get the car you want at the price you want. Autotrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace.
Log on to NBA.com to see how you can help your community.
Hey, what's wrong?
Joe's athlete's foot. He takes me off, puts me on, takes me off, smearing on those creams over and over.
Ah, show him the new stuff. It's new Lamisil Gel Advanced.
It's blue?
Yes. Its revolutionary cooling gel penetrates faster, and it gets rid of athlete's foot with half the treatments of the other stuff. It's the most advanced medicine out there.
Half the treatments? Never heard of that before.
That's because it's new, laddie. New Lamisil Gel Advanced. Half the treatments, all the cure.
There you go. Good job. Good job. Keep up. Keep up. Keep up. Flying fish. There you go.
Got an MLB mindset? You'll need it. The #1 baseball game is back. MLB 07, The Show. Rated E for everyone. Available on PlayStation 2 and PlayStation Portable.
When you think of it, children have always been able to put a smile on your face. Why not do something to put a smile on theirs? Please join McDonald's in supporting Ronald McDonald House Charities as we make the lives a little brighter for over 10,000 children and their families every day of the year.
Introducing the all-new Chrysler Sebring. Precisely engineered with 45 standard safety and security features, a powerful 3.5-liter V6 engine, and ESP with traction control. It's beautiful inside and out. The all-new Chrysler Sebring.
NBA Cares. This season, NBA players, including Amari Stoudemire, Joe Johnson, and Jason Kidd, join thousands of other caring volunteers to build houses with Habitat for Humanity. These houses will go to families in need along the Gulf Coast who are rebuilding their lives following the devastation of Hurricane Katrina. NBA Cares, combining basketball and service to the community.
Welcome back to Dallas. Game 2 of the best-of-7 series. The number 1 seed Dallas Mavericks leading the number 18 Golden State 54-52 as we get set for the start of the third quarter. Greg Buckner recently hosted the Bowling with Buck fundraiser. Joined by teammates and former Maverick guard Derek Harper, the group bowled with guests and proceeds benefited the Greg Buckner Foundation. The foundation is dedicated to developing youth through education, athletics, community service, life skills, and mentoring. NBA Cares continuing a tradition of basketball and service to the community. Well, we had a tie in Game 1 after halftime, and the Mavericks coming back and playing better so far, but the Golden State Warriors, Reggie, are playing their game. They were down by 6. They fought back. And another tight game up for grabs here.
Well, if I'm Nelly, I'm happy. Right. The Mavericks, they shoot 50%. Al Harrington is pitching a goose egg so far with 0 points, and my bench is only giving me 2 points, so I'm happy.
I guess they would be. And right now, let's take a look at the Chrysler game summary. So Dallas shooting 50% from the field, leading by 2. They have yet to make a 3. Golden State has missed a bunch. Fast break points a lot closer, as you pointed out, in the second quarter than it was, and Dallas dominating the point in the paint and the blocks because they have a bigger team. But the score, 54-52.
Well, you know, Dallas is going to have to do something in the second half to really fend off. And Steven Jackson, who's been one of the principal scorers for the Golden State Warriors, pull up 3 right here. He gets in the lane for the Warriors. And Jason Terry, we talked about Josh Howard. Jason Terry have to bring that energy. Nice pull-up jumper right here. Dirk Nowitzki only 3 of 7, but Josh Howard and Jason Terry 27 points combined out of the 2 of them. 12 for 22 field goals. So their points are coming. Now let's see if they can get their MVP going a little bit.
Terry with 15, as you mentioned, Nowitzki with 8. And Steven Jackson has 20 points to lead all scorers. That 2 of the Warriors' top point makers, you mentioned Harrington, but Jason Richardson, who has only 6 as well, not scoring right now, but it's a 2-point game and a lot higher. We were 38 all in Game 1, and right now we're on a pace to go over 100. So coming out for the Warriors, it'll be Steven Jackson, Monta Ellis, Baron Davis, along with Jason Richardson and Al Harrington.
You know, the Golden State Warriors, 19 field goals in that first half and only 3 assists.
Davis
on a one-on-one basketball.
Davis with the fall away and the rebound taken down by Josh Howard. So it's Howard, Nowitzki, Terry, Eric Dampier, and Devin Harris who started the game. Harris in good defense inside by Harrington. Jackson to the hoop, blocked by Dampier and on the body, and the foul is called. It'll be against Dampier, his second, as we check in with Pam Olive.
Yeah, Dick, the Warriors are pleased as punch. They wanted the game to be close, and it is. They wanted to survive that suspected better play from Dallas, and they have. Keith Smart, the Warriors assistant coach I spoke with, said the second half of Golden State will be all about handling that next big Dallas push. Smart also said we gave up way too much penetration in the first half, so if Golden State can nail down those 2 things, he feels like they're in great shape.
Good report, Pam. Of course,
well, why can't it be lemonade? Is it Kool-Aid punch? What, I mean,
right.
you know.
But you know, she mentions Keith Smart, and as a Syracuse graduate, of course.
Oh, that pains you, doesn't it?
The nightmare of Keith Smart with the winning basket for Indiana in the national championship still pains. Anyway, that's another time. 54-54 the score. Nowitzki passing out of the double team to Terry, who misses the 3. Pass to Baron Davis, and he gives Golden State the lead. A minute into the second quarter, and a quick timeout by Avery Johnson to talk things over.
And he doesn't want to start this game as they started the first quarter. You don't want no runs. Let's nip it in the bud early. Baron Davis, the easy deuce leak out.
Welcome to subliminal advertising. Don't worry, it will only affect your brain.
Complete.
go with your free flight. They're easy to earn on Southwest Airlines.
With Rapid Rewards, there's no counting miles. Just fly 8 round trips.
You are now free to move about the country.
Introducing the all-new Chrysler Sebring. Precisely engineered with 45 standard safety and security features, a powerful 3.5-liter V6 engine, and ESP with traction control. It's beautiful inside and out. The all-new Chrysler Sebring.
The reason why I like taking my girls to the games is you learn a lot through the game of basketball, respecting the game and knowing how important teamwork is.
Seeing the ultimate teamwork now.
It's just a great atmosphere.
How much fun is this?
And it's just not about basketball, it's about everyday life. It encourages them to continue to push for their dreams.
And Detroit wins its Sunday championship.
Who knows? Maybe one day I'll be coming to watch them play. Ain't that right?
Yep.
The 2007 NBA Playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. And by Sprite with Lyman. Proud sponsor of the NBA. Obey.
This June, meet CJ. Look at this spin. Look at this spin. Get ready for Tyler Perry's House of Pain, coming this June to TBS.
I still got it, baby. You ain't got nothing.
Mavericks bringing it up and a 2-point Golden State lead. Terry guarded by Monta Ellis and the ball knocked away by Richardson. Good play by Richardson, who made the fine pass to set up the basket by Baron Davis before the timeout. So the Warriors get it back. Interesting. Dirk Nowitzki still had not made his presence felt. The strong MVP candidate, 8 points on 3 for 7 shooting. Only 7 of 23 in the series so far. And there is
Al Harrington
getting fouled and winding up on the floor. I tell you, this team keeps coming on.
Well, I think Al Harrington might have had a conversation with Coach Nelson at halftime, understanding he was 0 for 4 from the field, a goose egg. And he says, look, Coach, I can take Dampier, I can take Jop anytime I want. Just run a few plays for me. I can get us into the bonus early. Looks to be a little bit aggressive here in the second half.
Dampier chalking up his 3rd foul, and the Warriors are 13 of 14 from the line.
And that's remarkable because they're normally lower half, 27th, 28th in the league free throw shooting team.
And if you joined us late, Avery Johnson went back to a more conventional lineup, starting Eric Dampier at center and going with the big man. And a tight game it is, with the Warriors up by 4, 58-54. After the Mavericks were up by as many as 6. Here is Howard with 9 on the shot clock. Josh Howard with a good move. Josh Howard has done it at both ends in this game after playing better defensively than offensively in game 1. He has 14. Here's Harrington for 3. And Josh Howard getting the rebound. Harrington, who's the most accurate three-point shooter on the Warriors team in the regular season. And here is Howard going up, and it spins off, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So while Nowitzki not getting it done, Josh Howard certainly is. And Monta Ellis has his 3rd foul, sending Howard to the line.
Well, offensively, Josh Howard and Jason Terry is keeping this Dallas Mavericks team afloat. On the other side, if I'm Al Harrington and I've got Eric Dampier 20 feet away from the basket, and he's got the kind of game, the crossover at 6'8", 6'9", he should be taking him off the dribble, very much like he did the play before, and draw contact and foul. There's no way Eric Dampier can guard him 20 feet away from the basket.
But this has been the MO of this Warrior team.
Can't sell. You got to understand the matchup. I understand when you have a mismatch and you go after it. That's a mismatch for the Warriors, for Al Harrington. Take advantage of it.
2 free throws, and the game is tied at 58, and 16 points for Josh Howard. Baron Davis, who scored 13 in the first half. Richardson nearly lost the dribble. Pulls up and hits. Richardson, really yet to get on track in this series, has 8 points to give the Warriors the lead. Harris pulling up and was given the shot. Harrington was playing for the penetration. And the field goal by Harris, who's playing with 3 fouls himself, tying the game again with 60. Richardson and corralled by Josh Howard. So the Mavericks looking to regain the lead. And open is Jason Terry, and he hits from the baseline. Mavericks lead 62-60. Terry with 17 becomes the Mavericks scoring leader, one more than Josh Howard.
Good recognition there by Devin Harris.
And a great feed from Jackson inside to Harrington, and a block and a foul. And a great play made by Dampier and the Dallas Mavericks.
Devin Harris coming down, understanding. He just pulled up for a jump shot. He sees a wide open Jason Terry across court. Nice chest pass in rhythm for the deuce.
Harrington picking up his second foul. And so the Mavericks with the ball and a 2-point lead. A little more than 3 minutes have elapsed here in the third quarter. Terry shadowed by Baron Davis, picked up by Jackson on the switch, misses a wild 3. And a foul will be called, a loose ball foul against the Mavericks. And that foul will be called against Dampier, and that's 4 on Dampier. So Sagana Diop will come into the game. Diop had 3 rebounds and 2 points, but very active as the backup center for the Mavs in the first half.
Well, it's their version of the Twin Towers here in the Big D. Sagana Diop and Eric Dampier, a luxury that Avery Johnson can lean back on.
Jackson firing over Harris, way off the mark, and it was Diop coming down and getting the rebound. So the Mavericks again with the ball in the lead. Ellis trying to stay with Terry, who makes the move to the hoop and beats him to it. Great move against Monta Ellis by Jason Terry, and the Mavericks are up by 4 with about 4 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. Loose ball and the dive, and Dallas will have it. Devin Harris and Josh Howard on the 2-on-1, and Howard converts, and that will cause Don Nelson to call a timeout. The turnover and the converted layup, and the Mavericks have matched their biggest lead of the game, 66-60. They have run off 8 in a row, and the Warriors call the timeout.
And it's all about the energy that Jason Terry has brought. You see the nice crossover dribble baseline, and Josh Howard gets out on the break. It's a 6-point lead for the Mavericks.
You love Raymond and adore The Cosby Show. Wait till you meet America's newest, funniest family. Don't miss the all-new comedy series House of Pain, premiering June 6th at 9 on TBS.
Seen his game grow from week to week. Nash to Amari. On cue, he scores up the middle.
Introducing more horsepower than Accord or Camry. Introducing 32 highway miles per gallon. Introducing standard side curtain airbags. Introducing a price that's over $1,000 less than Accord or Camry. The all-new Chrysler Sebring. So many new features, formal introductions were in order. The 5-star crash test rated all-new Chrysler Sebring, starting at $18,995.
Because Geico sounds like gecko. That's it. That's the only reason I'm here. The fact is, if Geico sounded like some other animal, like, I don't know, a puma, sure enough, there'd be some adorable little cat sitting here talking about Geico's low rates.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You can't even imagine the pressure. I mean, I've literally got like 2 seconds to capture your attention while simultaneously informing you that you could save hundreds on car insurance by switching to Geico. Quite frankly, I don't think it's even possible.
15 minutes.
Johnson can see the future.
You see things before they happen.
Now he's seen something no one was supposed to see.
Get rid of him.
This Friday, nothing can prepare you.
Look ahead. Find it.
For what comes next.
You got one way out of this. That wasn't it.
Next.
Life is supposed to be a surprise.
That would be nice.
Rated PG-13 starts this Friday.
a short movie U.S. debut. Go to Channel 115 for the 9-minute movie.
For the second time in the game, the Mavericks opening up a 6-point lead. And now it's time for tonight's Wendy's Making the Right Choice.
Well, the Mavericks are going to take the next step and win a championship. You've got to be able to do the little things, and they're energizing. Jason Terry is the reason why they come up with that steal and the layup right here by Josh Howard. Making the right choice by getting on the floor right here, sacrificing his body right here. He doesn't even touch the basketball, but that allows the Mavericks to come up with this steal and Josh Howard to get out in the open court for the layup partner.
Andres Biendrich, who played 8 minutes and scored 2 points in the first half and had a good block shot, has come into the game. Baron Davis posting up against Terry. And the double team with Harris, Devin Harris, and losing the ball was Jason Richardson over on the sideline. Don Nelson doesn't seem to be pleased with the turnovers that the Warriors are committing, and it's costing them right now. So Davis himself has turned it over 5 times. Mavericks with Terry, Harris, Nowitzki, Howard, and Job. Here's Dirk against Steven Jackson. Tipped away by Richardson. Still 7 seconds on the clock.
Well, these Mavericks were in this very position in the first half, up 6 points. And Golden State made little runs to close it to 2 before halftime. Let's see if they can extend this lead here. Use this home court crowd to their advantage.
Terry with the jumper missing. And here come the Warriors back. So the Warriors have had the answer every time they've fallen behind. And let's see how they respond once again. Nearly 7 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Davis with a stop and go. Ellis. The tip attempt by Biendrich doesn't go. And here come the Mavericks again. And Davis looking for the steal. And it knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Baron Davis.
Well, Monta Ellis got off to that blistering start. 5 of 8, 13 points. Hasn't sniffed a basket since.
Here's Harris. Strong down the middle. And he will go to the line. Devin Harris, who has scored 9 points. And the foul against Monta Ellis will be 4 on Ellis. So Dampier of the Mavericks and Ellis for the Warriors, each with 4 personals.
Well, these Warriors have to manage this basketball game. They can't let this lead grow to double digits. Get this fantastic home court crowd into it. If they do that, they can get in trouble. They have enough scorers to get back in the ballgame, but they can't let this get away from them.
Nelson, who's been philosophical, and a lot of what he says on the off days and before games he can take with a grain of salt. Said, look, what's the worst thing that can happen? We lose the game. Go back 1-1. He's been very philosophical, as if it really doesn't matter, but what he tells the team is another.
No, it matters. He might not say that he's holding anything close to the vest playing these Mavericks, but there's something there.
Jason Richardson has the ball knocked away, and Terry coming back with it. Good defense that time. And Terry and Baron Davis are going at it, nose to nose. And now a few others, and the officials quickly in there to separate the players.
And you don't want suspensions. You don't want guys to get thrown out. Right here, double technical on Baron Davis and Devin Harris.
And you remember before the series started, Avery Johnson was quick to say, let's not let our emotions get the best of him. You remember Jason Terry with the Michael Finley shove last year, and DJ Benga going into the stands when Avery Johnson's wife was harassed a little bit. Jerry Stackhouse, all 3 got suspensions in last year's playoff.
Well, I alluded that these 2 teams, there's really not a lot of love lost. I don't know if it's because of Nelly and Avery Johnson, the 2 coaches that have gone against one another. But Steven Jackson had the foul, which was good. He raised his hand. He's telling Billy Salvatore, that was my bad. And then Matt Barnes kind of swipes the ball away from Jason Terry. Baron Davis comes into his player's defense, Matt Barnes, and I think that's where all the talking to John came about. But there's no love lost. Like I said, the last regular season game between these 2 players, Greg Buckner, Baron Davis kind of got into it with one another. And there's been a little John between Baron Davis and Devin George tonight. So this has the makeup of a long playoff series.
Double technical fouls against Steven Jackson and Sagana Diop, and a technical foul called against Baron Davis. So in essence, 3 technicals called on that one instance.
And Steven Jackson and Baron Davis are a little miffed right now on why they got the technical fouls. They're saying Baron was the aggressor in that melee right there. So the initial foul was by Steven Jackson. He raised his hand like he's supposed to do. Foul, yes, my bad. He turns to Bennett Salvatore, puts his hand up. And then Matt Barnes, see, yeah, Ghana Diop is the one that initiated, because all Matt Barnes did was kind of swipe at the basketball.
Well, he wasn't hit, but what happened was after the foul, then Baron Davis went over as if the play was still going to so-called foul Terry right there. Jackson wanting an explanation. You saw Baron Davis wanting one as well. Dirk Nowitzki hitting the technical free throw. And now the Mavericks will get it out of bounds with Josh Howard. So the first kind of flare-up we've had in the midst of an 11-0 run by the Mavericks, opening up their biggest lead in the series. It's at 9 right now, 69-60. And this is a critical juncture in the game for the Golden State Warriors right now. Here is Terry going out, and Davis did not touch the ball, and it's thrown away, and it goes over to the Warriors. So it'll be interesting to see right now how Golden State reacts.
Absolutely, partner. They can't let their emotions get the best of them right here. They got enough offensive weapons to get back in this ball game. You just can't come down and just go gung-ho.
On the lay-in and a pass from Baron Davis, so they get 2 of them back, 69-62. Curiously, despite what is now an 11-2 run, this crowd is actually a little apprehensive right now. Not on their feet, not cheering. Here is Nowitzki pulling back against Jackson, and he misses again. The rebound taken down by Biendrich. So Nowitzki now 3 for 8 and 9 points in the game. Davis, and ball away by Baron Davis, and Diop boxing out effectively. Mavericks ball, 5.5 to go in the third. Dallas with a 7-point lead. The Mavericks losing and getting shocked at home in game 1, trying to send this series to the Bay Area 1-1. And the pass picked off nicely by Baron Davis. Davis over to Jackson. Finds Barnes inside, and Barnes goes up, and it's blocked. Great play made that time by Harris. And a foul called by the Warriors at the other end.
And did you see Jason Terry headband as he is running the break right here? That's what I'm talking about. I don't care if I can't see right now. I know where the rest of my players are.
A new style for headband wearing established by Jason Terry. The foul was called against Barnes. His third. Terry adjusts the headband and goes out of the game. He has 19 in there. And Howard will go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, you're not going to get a lot of 10 on style points right there, but he was very effective in running that fast break.
Howard 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Both teams shooting effectively from the line. And once again, the Mavericks trying to open up a 9-point lead.
Well, if I'm Coach Nelson, I'm still somewhat happy and satisfied if they can keep it under 10 points going into the fourth quarter. That's exactly what Coach Nelson would want.
It's just under 10 right now, Reg. And Davis with Jackson, Beatrice, Barnes. Jason Richardson, the blocking foul called against Devin Harris. So Harris picking up his 4th personal foul. 4 on Harris.
Devin Harris here trying to stay with Baron Davis. Just a second late here on drawing the offensive foul right here.
And that is the 4th team foul against the Mavericks. Warriors already in the penalty. Barnes with a pretty move, driving in and getting the basket. And the Maverick lead cut to 7. Jerry Stackhouse has replaced Devin Harris in the lineup for the Mavericks. Those are the 5 on the floor for The Mavs, nearly 4.5 to go as Terry misfires. Beandrich, Baron Davis with the pass to Barnes. And Barnes just firing up, looking for a foul, and Jason Richardson firing it under the basket.
That's what I talk about, being in a hurry right there. Matt Barnes right there, the nice outlet.
Out of control.
You don't have the numbers. Wait till everyone, comes back over half court and run some offense.
The team on the floor for the Warriors. 7-point lead. Here is Sagana Diop. Nowitzki with the fall-away hitting. Dirk Nowitzki now with 11 points. 4 of 9 shooting. Nowitzki scoring 14 in game number 1. Again, a 9-point game, and Steven Jackson with a 2-point effort. 73-66, the Mavericks lead. Jackson with 24 points is the game's high scorer. Diop tries to get it in Nowitzki, loose ball, and they're going to jump it up. They're going to call the pushing foul.
Steven Jackson has to be very careful right here. He's on the verge of testing the officials right here. He already has one technical.
Barnes with the personal foul, and that'll be 3 on him. And the penalty situation will send Dirk Nowitzki to the line. And a few words of encouragement from Don Nelson to Bennett Salvatore.
You think those are encouraging words, my friend?
The word subtle would come into play here. And Devin George will replace Sagana Diop. Diop leads the game. 2 points and 4 rebounds. And again, the Mavericks are up by 9, 75-66 as Nowitzki hits both. Beandrich trying to set a screen at the top. Richardson with a 2 and hits. Jason Richardson now with 10 points. Still not shooting the way he would like. He's 5 for 13 in the game after struggling in the opening game of the series. Knocked away, and it's still Dallas ball with plenty of time on the shot clock. Mavericks by 7. A little more than 3 minutes remaining in the third. Nowitzki with the patented fall away and the long pass to Jackson. So again, a 9-point lead, and it has fluctuated between 7 and 9 for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Gambling with Terry, and going in and getting the basket is Jason Richardson. So Terry overplayed, and Richardson burned him, and again, a 7-point contest.
Well, two good third quarters. Jason Richardson, Dirk Nowitzki.
George missing from 3.
Warriors are within striking distance. They just want to keep it close to the fourth quarter. Let their playmakers take over.
Jackson looking at Dirk Nowitzki, going past him on the dribble and getting the basket. And the offensive foul called against Steven Jackson. No basket on the play. Good move by Jackson going around Nowitzki, but called for the charge. His 3rd foul.
Right here, nice crossover.
Howard took the charge nicely.
Same way that Baron Davis stepped in earlier on that fast break transition for the offensive foul. Josh Howard doing a good job of stepping in with his chest and taking the offensive foul from Steven Jackson.
Jackson with 24 points. High score in the game. He's hit 3 threes tonight. The Dallas Mavericks have yet to hit a 3-point basket. They are 0 for 10. And this is a team that was in the top 10 in 3-point shooting in the regular season.
Having a chance to play with Steven Jackson, he's in a very emotional player right now. And watching him right now, he's a little frustrated. He keeps chirping at the officials. He's got to be careful because he's too valuable to this team if he's watching this game from the locker room.
Baron Davis back in the lineup for the Warriors. Here is Terry. Stackhouse hits. Stackhouse had a big contribution in the first half when the Mavericks outscored the Warriors by 9 while he was in the game. Several key assists, several key shots. And again, giving the Mavericks a 9-point lead with under 2 minutes to play in the third. And the ball tipped away, taken by Stackhouse. And the foul is called No basket. Jason Richardson will be called for the reach-in foul, sending Jerry Stackhouse to the line.
And these are the kind of points you don't need right here. The bad pass by Baron Davis that leads to the fast break right here. He thought he saw an alley. Good job there by Devin George of getting the deflection. But when you can score right here for the Mavericks, you're up 9 points and you're scoring with the clock stopped right here. These are give-me's.
And the first double-digit lead of the game by either team. The Mavericks have it 80-70 with 1:51 on the clock in the third quarter. Warriors were up by 2 after the first quarter. And had a 2-point lead at the half. So the Mavericks, taking advantage of Golden State mistakes, have 23 points in the game on 17 turnovers by the Warriors. Here is Richardson with a fall-away, hitting a big one. So Richardson's shooting, keeping the Warriors within range. It's a 9-point game, minute and a half to play, third quarter. Stackhouse driving around the screen of Nowitzki and traveling called against Josh Howard.
Take the first shot. You thought about that right there. You caught the ball in rhythm. Take the shot. You're a primary scorer. Don't worry about it.
1:20 remaining in this third quarter, and the Mavericks, you never know it by the crowd reaction, leading by 9 points.
Well, it's funny because this crowd is used to finals excitement. They're like, this is the first round. Why do we need to get all excited?
Monta Ellis from the baseline hitting. He has 15 points after a big start in the first quarter tonight.
If they don't get excited quickly, they can find themselves out of these playoffs, because this Golden State Warriors team is for real.
Stackhouse with the miss. Nowitzki getting the offensive rebound and converting. Dirk Nowitzki out jumping Al Harrington.
Big play. That was a big play. They could have got that rebound and converted, cut it down to 5.
Here is Baron Davis, and Ellis on the other side out jumps Stackhouse. Ellis going in strong, and he misses the shot. So a little impatience by some of the younger players, and Baron Davis complaining to James Capers. And for Davis, that will be his third personal foul, but more damaging, the Mavericks will be shooting. And once again, a chance to make it an 11-point lead.
Well, Jason Richardson, bad foul, sent Jerry Stackhouse to the line. Right here, Baron Davis, bad foul, sending again Jerry Stackhouse to the free throw line. And these are the points that you can't afford to give up.
Greg Buckner will replace Josh Howard. So Howard is not in position to pick up a foul in the final seconds. Well, TNT has a doubleheader again tomorrow, but also on TV. Houston and Utah, Game 3 on NBA TV. ESPN Friday will be the Bulls and the Heat. Game 3 followed by the Mavericks and the Warriors as the scene shifts to the Bay Area. And then ABC Sunday, doubleheader. It'll be the Bulls and the Heat, Game 4, and the Suns and the Lakers, Game 4 from the Staples Center. Coverage will begin at 12:30 Eastern Time. Stackhouse with the 2 free throws, and the Mavericks are up by 11. Practically playing for the last shot of the third quarter. And one of the rare times the Warriors setting up a play. Here's Richardson, loses his footing, and tied up. Good hustle by Stackhouse as he tied up Richardson before he got rid of the ball.
Jerry Stackhouse doing a good job of anticipating the move right here by Jay Rich. Gets a hand on it. Both players on the floor. Good hustle.
And Dennis Salvatore right there. So the jump ball controlled by Dallas. The Mavericks with Greg Buckner feeding Stackhouse. Blocked by Davis. The foul against Baron Davis, and that will be 4 on him. This has not been a happy game for Baron Davis, and Don Nelson trying to calm down his star. As Stackhouse will go to the line.
And Bennett Salvatore is warning Don Nelson.
And it's 5 fouls on Davis.
He was warning to tell Baron Davis, showing up the officials, and he's been tossed. He had already picked up an official before. And right now he's given...
Tossed from the game. That would have been his 5th personal, but Baron Davis has been agitated throughout the game, and the second technical on Davis. Remember, he picked up one earlier when they had 3 technicals, including the double. This was his 2nd, and now he leaves the game.
Well, now you just don't want to do anything where the league, as we know, they've been policing and been big brothers all year. You don't want to do anything where you could be suspended, especially in a playoff game.
Well, he's out of harm's way now, and Baron Davis, who was a big part of the Mavericks' loss to the Warriors with 33 points and a near triple-double in Game 1, leaves this game with 13 points on 5 for 12 shooting.
So right now he's talking to the officials and he's clapping right in front of his face. Bennett Salvatore is across the court and is watching this. He goes over to Don Nelson and warns him to tell his player to calm it down. Baron Davis doesn't stop, and Bennett Salvatore shows him what the shower heads look out here at American Airlines Arena in the locker room.
There is Bennett Salvatore, and Stackhouse will try to give the Mavericks a 13-point lead. 0.2 of a second on the clock.
Well, these officials have, in lieu of Joey Crawford, been under a lot of talk lately.
And that'll do it in the 3rd quarter. A big quarter for the Dallas Mavericks as they outscored Dallas 34-28 in Game 1. Golden State had the edge, but 33-20.
Do you have to do this every time? So fresh. You a hot one. I'm gonna get you a new shoebox, everything. Yo, dude looks like your boy Garnett. Oh, yo, that is Kevin Garnett.
What's your name?
Whatever, man.
I'm Daryl.
All right, good looking up. All right.
Shoe. My face. Oh, no. Hey, girl, KG. Not my shoe. My face. Oh, not my shoe. No, not my shoe. It's my shoe.
If you haven't seen Hot Fuzz, you're missing out on America's hottest comedy. People magazine says it has big laughs. Time magazine raves it's unmissable. And Rolling Stone calls it a blast. Hot Fuzz. Rated R. Now play.
It is not just the strength to learn, but the strength to teach. Not just the strength to follow, but the strength to lead. It is not just the strength to wake up your life, but the strength to live out your dreams. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. To learn more about the Army's 150 different career opportunities, visit goarmy.com/strong.
I think this hot fudge shake combined with the Oreos is the #3 top invention in all of history.
What are the first 2?
Well, #1 is the doorbell, and #2 is still open. I mean, it's anybody's game.
It's not like the radio or the telephone like that.
Not that I know of. But this thing's cool. What's this?
It's a visor.
All right, #2.
Hot fudge shake made with Oreo cookies. New at Sonic. A favorite childhood cookie blended with hot fudge into a cool, creamy treat. Pay the Sonic way. Swipe your credit or My Sonic card from your car.
What do you like best about being up here? Well, that's easy. I love the view. I love seeing all the places people have to go. I love being part of the company that helps those people get there. I love the fact that we're up here looking out over everyone down there. Kind of like angels, but instead of wings, we got a blimp. What do you like best?
I like seeing all the games. And all that stuff you said, too.
Innovative thinking up here so you can get there. Goodyear. Get there.
From the guys who made Shaun of the Dead comes the best reviewed comedy of the year. It's outrageous, hilarious, and unmissable. It's a blast.
Get us back to the station now!
Hot Fuzz. Rated R. Now playing.
And we welcome you back to Dallas. We start the fourth quarter with the Mavericks leading 87-74 over the Golden State Warriors, who have lost Baron Davis, who was ejected with the second technical foul, the Warriors hero from game number 1. So a lot of the burden will fall on the faces you look at as we start the fourth quarter. Elena Azubuike has come into the game, his first appearance in this series, as Don Nelson going to a 9th player, which he didn't want to do. Stackhouse out of the double team. Devin George with the runner, and a foul called against the Warriors as we check in with Pam Oliver.
Yeah, Dick, naturally, Baron Davis headed to the locker room livid about being kicked out of this game. He had some choice language for the refs. He said to anybody who would listen, "What did I do?" He stopped in front of a TV set outside of the locker room door, saw the replay on TNT, and said, "What, you can't clap anymore?" It's going to be written and said the Warriors either lost his cool, but Davis said he felt that he did nothing to get ejected from this ball game. Back to you.
All right, Pam, thanks for the report. As checking in is Andres Beatrice. As the Warriors going deeper into the bench, Azubuike is in there with Beatrice, along with Al Harrington. Monta Ellis is in there as well. And
being an emotional player myself when I play, I can empathize with Baron a little bit because I've been in that same situation where I have excessively clapped in front of an official and got a technical foul. He had to understand that he already had a technical, and you shouldn't put yourself in harm's way that way. So I can understand a little bit of what he's talking about because I was somewhat of a little bit of a hot-headed, emotional. But when you already got a technical, you cannot put yourself in that position of a referee making that decision for you.
Did you ever think the referees were right on anything about it?
Absolutely not. And I want my fine money back. Steve Jackson, David Stern.
Check is in the mail. Here's Stackhouse. The open man is Devin George for 3. And here's Monta Ellis on the run, trying to get from behind is George, and he does a good job of batting the ball into the crowd. So the Warriors can't finish the break, but they get the ball with plenty of time on the clock.
Well, right now, the Warriors just can't put their head down and say, oh, we're down by 15, woe is me, we got the split.
I don't think that's their character.
They can, there's 11 minutes left in this game. They can bear down and possession by possession get back into this.
Harrington is fouled. And Al Harrington trying to get on track. He is 3 for 20 shooting in the 2 games thus far. And the foul against Howard is his 3rd. But judging for what we've seen from the Warriors and the way they made the playoffs, going against a team that won 67 games, I don't think they would get discouraged at all. They may go down, and they go down in a hurry. Who knows? But that's not the nature of what Don Nelson has in his team.
Well, Chris Mullen, who has assembled this team, understand that there is no fear in this team, and they understand that they're the underdogs, they're the AC. The one thing they have in their favor is that man right there who has coached these Dallas Mavericks, and he knows the ins and outs of this Mavericks organization. He's going to know what to do come game 3 and the adjustments you make from game to game in the playoffs.
And when one plays 8, there is no question that the number 1 team has the talent and they're a better basketball team. So we're not looking at an even playing field here. Harrington hitting 1 out of 2. 1 minute gone by in the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton along with Reggie Miller and Pam Oliver. Game 2, game that the Mavericks needed. And Devin Harris with the lay-in. He has 13 points. Great balance throughout the game. And 5 players in double figures for the Mavericks. Stackhouse included coming off the bench. And the Warriors will inbound 91-75.
Well, with Baron Davis gone, I think this is a good opportunity for Al Harrington to try and get some shots and get a rhythm.
Exactly.
He's going to be one player that they're going to need as this series progresses.
Jackson, too many steps, turns it over to the Mavericks. 20 turnovers tonight for Don Nelson's Golden State Warriors. And there you see that statistic. Double team on Harris. 8 on the clock. Nowitzki. 3. And the Warriors that hit the bottom of the clock went through. It does not count. And the Warriors are still looking for their first three-point basket. Or Dallas is that, Ray. 0 for 12.
That was a good try right there.
Bounced on the top. So 0 for 12 from 3. Monta Ellis. Not sure whether he was attempting a shot or a pass. No one was underneath for the Warriors. 16-point lead for the Mavericks. First time they've been able to breathe a little easy, and a steal by Azubuike. And the basket, will it count? And it will. And a foul as well, as Monta Ellis gets the hoop on an unorthodox play.
The Warriors are not out of this. Monta Ellis right here. A lot closer than it was right there. It easily could have gone either way.
Yes.
Devin Harris looked like he was established, but Monta Ellis putting his head down, getting the and one.
Harris going to the bench with his 5th personal foul, replaced by Jason Terry, and Ellis hitting both free throws. So Ellis, who was jittery and played subpar in the first game, has 18 points, and he started out strong, so he has raised his game another level.
5 of 8, 13 points in that first quarter.
And speaking of 13 points, that's the lead for Dallas. Here's Howard for 3, off the mark, and Azubuike getting the rebound. Plenty of time remaining in this one. Jackson with a crossover, and the slam off the rim, but into the hands of Azubuike. Here's Harrington driving in and getting the basket. He was going up against Sagana Diop, and pretty good agility that time for Al Harrington.
You know, Al's one of those players who can put numbers in the scoreboard real quick. He just has to get a few touches.
First field goal of the game for Al Harrington, and now it's an 11-point game. Nowitzki's way off the mark, and Howard trying to save it, but into the hands of Harrington. Into the corner, Monta Ellis, and Ellis with the drive. He had Azubuike on the other side, so a 7-0 run has cut the Mavericks lead to 9 with 8:42 to go. It took only 1 minute and 6 seconds for the Warriors to get back on this run.
We took the Land Rover LR3 and compared it to the Hyundai Santa Fe. The Santa Fe beat the Land Rover in the 0 to 60 test and in the quarter-mile test. It also beat the Land Rover on the dry slalom and the wet slalom course, as well as in dry and wet accident avoidance tests. But the Land Rover did beat the Santa Fe in number of cup holders. Well, you can't win everything. The Hyundai Santa Fe, $13,000 less than the Land Rover, and a few less cup holders. Hyundai, smart move.
SAP has solutions for mid-sized companies? I'm gonna need some time to come to terms with this whole thing. Okay, I'm good.
SAP is affordable solutions for companies like ours. I have a sneaky feeling the world of high-precision electronic gas pressure gauges is about to change.
It's just weird, that's all. I grab my morning coffee, it's hi, how are you? Down at the gym, it's hey Jill, what's up? But then I call my investment guy with a simple question. And when he finally gets around to returning my call, it's like we've never met. When you consider the money I've given them over the years.
One man will penetrate the heart.
I want to have a car that attracts a woman for sexy time.
Well, that would be a Corvette.
The soul.
What kind of music you listen to? You know, Cookie Check, bing bang, bing bang, bing, ding ding ding.
And the mind of our nation.
It all comes down to this.
The race to the Stanley Cup is underway on NHL Center Ice from DirecTV. See which teams rise, see which teams fall. Get up to 40 games a week, plus select Stanley Cup playoff games. For just $49, the season's best offer. Order now and get Cup crazy. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS today. NHL Center Ice under.
Now it's time for tonight's U.S. Army strong performance of the game.
Well, Jason Terry not on the floor as the Warriors make a run. You see the nice crossover drive right here going baseline and igniting the fast break with his hustle, getting on the floor for the loose ball as Josh Howard converts in the open court. And right here, his best Slick Watts imitation. The headband over the eyes as he continues the fast break. Strong performance, U.S. Army.
Fans log on to TNT Overtime on NBA.com to see more U.S. Army strong performances. So the Warriors getting back in the game without Baron Davis, who was ejected with his second technical. Stackhouse going out now to Josh Howard. Stackhouse missing a long rebound, but Sagana Diop out-hustles the Warriors.
Those are the long shots equal long rebounds, and those are the rebounds that the Warriors have to have if they want to get back in this ball game.
9-point lead. And
who else? Jason Terry.
Jason Terry with 21 points. 4 minutes gone by here in this fourth quarter. And here is Jackson on the crossover going in strong. The basket will count. And the foul as well. So Steven Jackson, who scored 23 points in game one, has 26.
Well, Baron Davis watching the game in the locker room. Other people are going to have to step up. Jason Richardson had a big third quarter. Steven Jackson's been doing it throughout 4.
8 for 15 from the field. Fourth foul on Josh Howard. And the 3 points for the Warriors makes it a 93-85 game. Just under 8 minutes remaining in the fourth. Here's Nowitzki. Jackson trying to knock it away, and Nowitzki tipped in by Howard on the Nowitzki miss. So Howard with 22 tonight. 10-point lead. And there is Richardson. Howard playing with 4 fouls now. Devin Harris is on the bench right now with 5. And the loose ball, good defense that time by Josh Howard as he wrenched the ball away from Steven Jackson. So another turnover by the Warriors. Beandrich on Nowitzki. Here comes the double with Ellis. Ball movement to find the open man. Knocked away and last touched by Richardson. And the Mavericks will have 3 seconds to attempt a shot. Stackhouse will inbound.
For Jason Terry to get the basketball, come back.
He's got it. Ellis with him. Terry pulls up. And there's where the size advantage is paying off for the Dallas Mavericks, keeping the ball alive so that Nowitzki can convert. 19 for him.
And that's all gonna Diop right there, and that's why he is in the game.
Diop, meanwhile, fouling Jackson on the drive. The crowd doesn't agree with that call. And Steven Jackson will go to the line. That is the 4th team foul against Dallas.
Good move here by Steven Jackson. You know, people give Steven a hard time. One thing he is fearless. He's going to keep coming to the basket. He might not be well liked in a lot of visiting arenas, but he's going to give it his all each and every night he steps onto the floor.
And you know, you could say the Pacers were anxious to get rid of him. Of course, you mentioned he's had difficulty controlling his temper. An altercation in Indianapolis in October. But the guy has won a championship with the San Antonio Spurs, and something that this young team can use. Jackson and Baron Davis with that experience. 28 points for Steven Jackson. And an 11-point lead, 97-86 for the Mavericks. 6.5 to play in the fourth. Baseline drive and a pretty one by Stackhouse. And the foul called. Barnes was in there defending. And you can see the looks on the face of the Warriors that they have been upset tonight many times on what they consider unfair calls.
Well, what I will say is they've had their opportunities as well. And I just want to know what's the difference between that play and when Steven Jackson just got the call. So it pans out, it evens out.
Just a reaction of the team.
It's a reaction. And like I said, the Warriors really have had their opportunities to cut this deficit down. Long rebounds, second shots have hurt them.
Jerry Stackhouse, who did not score in game number 1, now has gone to the line 13 times in this game, has hit 11 free throws, 17 points. 5 players in double figures for the Mavericks, led by Howard with 22 and Terry with 21. And there's Jackson again. Big game for Jackson. 30 points for Steven Jackson, nearly halfway through this final quarter, and the Mavericks up by 11. So what the Warriors need now are stops. And that's been hard to come by. Foul as Nowitzki, double team, will go to the line. And that'll be 5 fouls on Matt Barnes, who had an impressive game 1, and we have a timeout. Just under 6 minutes to go. There's been a lot of emotion. There have been 4 technical fouls, including 2 to Baron Davis, who was ejected. Warriors and the Mavs have the upper hand.
Yikes, you got the middle, but that's okay. You got Wendy's new Steakhouse Double Melt. You know how good the middle can be. Caramelized onions and mushrooms, bacon, creamy Swiss, and peppercorn sauce melted in the middle of 2 hot and juicy, fresh, never frozen beef patties. It's gone. Good move, Mr. 14B. You just landed in the best position to do what tastes right.
The Hyundai Sonata Limited has 19 more horsepower than the BMW 525i. It also has superior acceleration, a larger cabin, the same number of airbags, a premium stereo, leather-trimmed seats, and America's best warranty. But the Sonata costs $20,000 less than the BMW. We just thought you might like to know. The Hyundai Sonata. Smart move.
The legend was born in 1965 in the storied swamp of Florida, where the scorching heat took a brutal toll on the Gators.
The players weren't adequately hydrated and their performance suffered.
The answer, a new carbohydrate electrolyte beverage created by University of Florida doctors.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
From the Gators' Orange Bowl triumph in '67 to their national title in '07, and for millions of athletes in between, the legend continues.
When you search for a car at Autotrader.com, we send more cars your way than anyone. A lot more cars. So you can narrow it down by model, the color, even the price. And when you search from the largest selection,
That's the one.
you get the car you want at the price you want. Autotrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace.
The 2007 NBA Playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Hyundai. Make a really smart move. Drive a Hyundai with America's best warranty. By Wendy's. Get in the middle of flavor. Try Wendy's new Double Melt and do what tastes right. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade. Is it in you? And by Autotrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace.
Back here in Big D in a strong third quarter by the Mavericks, outscoring the Warriors by 11. And Baron Davis, the hero for Golden State in game number 1. You see the foul by Jackson, and then the clapping and the technical foul, the second of the game for Baron Davis, and he was ejected with 0.2 of a second remaining, 13 points and 2 assists tonight. as the Warriors were down by 16 points with 2 minutes gone in the fourth, cut the deficit to 8. But the Mavericks have held on and lead by 11. Nowitzki missing the first free throw. Nowitzki has 19 points tonight on 7 of 15, but they've had terrific balance. Josh Howard with a 22-point-11 rebound effort has been the key, along with Terry's 21. And the Mavericks are up by 12, and a kick ball, and Warriors will maintain possession. Stephen Jackson has been the leader for the Warriors with 30 points, and that is a playoff career high for him. Michael Petrus with a turnaround and a field goal. So Petrus, with his first basket of the game, he has picked up 5 personals in the first half, and it's a 10-point game.
You know, being in these kind of games, you always want to make impressions for the next game, and these Golden State Warriors are not going away. And that's going to be an indelible impression on the back of the minds of the Mavericks that this is not going to be an easy series. I think it would have been a plus if Dallas would have blown them out. Then that kind of would have took away that game 1 win. But this has been a dogfight from the beginning for the Mavericks.
Matt Barnes fouls out of the game. He scored 4 points. And Terry will go to the line, but good observation, because the scrappiness and the style of the Warriors and the looseness has not gone away, despite the fact that the Mavericks had opened up as much as a 16-point lead early in the fourth quarter. So Terry is on the free throw line. Let's take a look at what's coming up on TNT. Coming up next, it's Inside the NBA, where EJ, Kenny, and Charles have highlights and analysis of tonight's playoff action. Then Thursday, the playoffs on TNT continue. Detroit is at Orlando in Game 3 of their series, with the Pistons up 2-0, followed by Game 3 of the Suns and the Lakers, with the Suns up 2-0. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern. 40 games, 40 nights. The playoffs covered only as TNT has for so many years. Here is Monta Ellis going out to Jackson, the fake on Howard, and the loose ball knocked away. Stackhouse knocked it away for Terry, who gets the layup, and a 14-point lead with under 5 minutes to play in the fourth.
Well, as I mentioned before, if I'm the Golden State Warriors, you can't let this game get away, as Biedrins inadvertently just throws the ball out of bounds. You can't let this game get away from you, because psychological, that's going to be to the advantage of the Dallas Mavericks.
23 turnovers tonight by Don Nelson's squad, 104-90. Nowitzki strong to the hoop and fouled, and Stephen Jackson going over to James Capers. A very vocal Golden State Warrior team. Almost everyone on the team has had some comments to the officials tonight.
Well, having played in a couple playoff games before, emotions are always high, and especially when you're the road team, things aren't going right, you're always going to look to the officials as the first,
where else, right?
where all the fault should lie. But I think once they look at the tape and they understand that Stephen Jackson has been shown what the shower heads will look like with Baron Davis.
So Jackson is gone. And the guy escorting the Warriors off the floor has had a busy night tonight.
And like I said, it's all about emotions right here. And right now, he just needs to leave the floor, so there's no additional fines levied here.
But one thing is certain, that the Warriors, unhappy with a lot of things tonight, are going to have to get their composure straightened out before the third game of the series.
See, and the thing about it is,
and Stephen Jackson better quiet down, because he may miss that third game.
Yeah, see, he just needs to leave, because he's making it worse on himself, because now the league is going to look at this film and say, look, you took an extraordinary amount of time to leave the floor. We have no other option than to suspend you for a game.
It remains to be seen whether Stephen Jackson is going to be
But you shouldn't put yourself in that position. Well, you just, if you get the double take, say a couple things, then leave.
Well, I know, but you're talking about a guy who's had a difficulty controlling his temper anyway.
Yes, but Steven Jackson, at the end of the day, is a good guy. He means the right things. He just, at certain times, as right here, he's just probably talking to someone in the stands or to James Capers. But now they have the basis to review the film.
And we have seen in the past that the league has clamped down. They want to send a message for other players on other teams who may have the same idea and set an example. You don't want to be the first example set, so it will be interesting to see if the league makes a move. In any event, nearly 4.5 to go, a 17-point Maverick lead. They will go on and likely win this game as Harrington misses the layup inside, deflected by Nowitzki.
And also, partner, very much like the NCAA, when a number 1 seed plays the number 15 seed, everyone's always rooting for the underdog to beat the number 1 seed. After winning game 1, 3/4 of America and basketball fans are always rooting for the underdog. So when you do performances like that with the technicals and get thrown out, you want America to root for you, not root against you.
Well, Terry hitting the 3. That's the first 3-point basket of the game after 15 misfires by Dallas. 110-90. And going up and the foul. And Petrus will go to the line. Coming into the series, the Warriors with the second highest scoring team in the league behind the Phoenix Suns, averaging 106.5. That's the good news. On the other side, they were last in scoring defense at 107 points. So that was the contrast that Don Nelson's team had. They ended up 42-40. They won 5 straight, 9 of their last 10 to get here. Won game 1. And a lot of attention on this game as we knew that the Mavericks had the wake-up call. And now the loss of composure by several of the Warriors.
It has shifted.
You wonder whether that could come into play and affect game 3.
Because if this game had remained 12 points or less, even though Dallas would have got the victory, I think psychological, the advantage would have been for the Warriors. Now, because of the emotions of the technical fouls, that's taken out. Because now if I'm Dallas, I'm saying we got them rattled. The advantage is in our favor.
That's what they would have to think. Jason Terry out of the game, 28 points tonight, under 3.5 to play. 110-92. Nowitzki guarded by Beandrish and the double team. And the shot clock expires. Well, it appears that what Avery Johnson did tonight to try to combat the double teams of Nowitzki, ball movement and spacing by the Mavericks, and it's proven to be effective.
Well, that's helped because you didn't see Dirk really spin a lot and get that double team that you saw in game 1. He was more outside the perimeter taking jump shots.
Devin Harris, Buckner, Dirk Nowitzki, Sagana Diop, and Josh Howard are the 5 in there now. As Mavericks in no hurry here. They're going to break a 5-game losing streak to the Warriors right here at the American Airlines Center. Traveling is the call against Harrington.
And Al has just struggled really the first 2 games of this series.
He sure has. Al Harrington, 3 for 14 in game 1, 1 for 8 tonight.
What if you were pulled from the amateur ranks and given the opportunity of a lifetime? A multi-world champion team manager, the greatest of all time for a mentor, Suzuki's best ever 254 stroke, a team who wants it as bad as you do. The RMZ 250, how far could you take it?
Code Green, I think I've lost him.
Hey, haven't I seen you before?
You sure have.
Look out! Whoa! My car! It's too late to report my claim now.
Don't you have Esurance?
I do.
At Esurance, you can report your claim 24/7, online or on the phone. Always fast and friendly. You'll be back on the road in no time. Duty calls. If you're on the road, you've got to have Esurance.
Save on 24/7 claim service at Esurance.com.
and get cash? Countrywide has a great reason to do it now. A no-cost refi. It has no points, no application fees, no credit reporting fee, and no third-party fees, no title, escrow, or appraisal fees. Absolutely no closing costs. So you wind up with a lot more cash. Call now and ask for a no-cost refi. We're America's #1 home loan lender, and no one can do what Countrywide can. Call 1-800-641-8384.
Someday, your day will come. Someday, you too will bask in the soft, warm glow of high definition. My friend, someday is today. With prices like ours, Vizio's making HD TV a possibility for everyone.
Vizio.
Summer.
We had a little problem.
I can see that. Watch a risk taker become a miracle worker.
She's just so weak.
We'll transplant her successfully.
Heartland, a new series right after the season premiere of The Closer, this June on TNT.
2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the game, and the Mavericks up 110-92. And here is the series schedule. It will resume Friday at Golden State. Game 4 will be Sunday, and we'll be there for that one for the 4th game of the series. And Game 5 will be played at right back here in Dallas on Tuesday.
Well, we know that the Golden State Warrior Nation fans are highly anticipating
they're going to be out
on Friday.
It'll be a big scene.
One of the better fans base in the NBA. They've been starving for this playoff action, and they're going to get it. They're going to get the #1 seed coming in there on Friday.
Dirk Nowitzki goes to the bench and finishes with 23 points, 7 rebounds on 7 for 15 shooting. Eric Dampier with Howard, Buckner, Harris, and George. Harris hitting it. Devin Harris. Very good composure by the Dallas Mavericks tonight. Great balance, solid, and you see why they won 67 games. Tied for 6th best in NBA history. Donald Foyle seeing his first action with the lay-in. And it's 112-94. And Al Harrington looking to get home and get on track for the first time in this series. 2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes.
Avery Johnson electing to keep some of his starters in there. Josh Howard, Devin Harris, Eric Dampier.
Yasikevicius, Sarunas Yasikevicius, who came over from the Indiana Pacers in that 8-player deal in the game, and Viandrich from Yasikevicius with the lay-in, getting his 2nd basket. 112-96. The Mavericks led by 2 at halftime, and a 20-second timeout called by the Mavericks. And the big 3rd quarter, the story tonight, when Dallas outscored Golden State 33-22, and just before that 3rd quarter ended, Baron Davis got his 2nd technical and was ejected from the game. And then, of course, later on, Stephen Jackson was ejected on his 2nd tee. Well, it's time for tonight's closer of the game.
You really could make a case for any one of the big 3, but you're going with Jason Terry tonight. 28 points, 3 steals, the energy, diving on the floor, coming up with loose balls and turnovers, creating fast break havoc.
And we want you not to miss all new episodes of The Closer coming this June only on TNT.
Honorable mention, Josh Howard, 22 points, 5 steals, 11 rebounds. So
Jose Barea into the game as Avery Johnson emptying his bench. 112-96. Foul, and Yasikevicius hit on the head, will go to the line. Greg Buckner with his personal foul. So a much higher scoring game, unbelievably, with all of the shots taken in game 1 at halftime. It was 38 all.
Martin, I keep telling you, I bring points. I bring points.
Well, you do bring points, and you know what? That's what the fans want to see, Reggie.
That's true.
So a different look on the benches from the waning moments of game 1 to game 2. The Warriors won it 97 to 85. And a different story tonight.
Well, the good thing about playoff basketball is there's only a day in between, and these guys go back at it on Friday. So just a quick review session, probably a half hour to 45-minute of court work to go over adjustments. Then you tip the ball Friday night. That's the good thing about playoff basketball. There's not a lot of times to hang your head. It's time to go.
And the Dallas Mavericks derailed in the first game, coming back, and of course their theme has been unfinished business, trying to win the title that they thought they were in line to do last year when they were up 2-0 over the Miami Heat, and then were beaten in 4 straight games. But game 2s have been a charm for the Dallas Mavericks. They are now 7-1 in their last 8 second games of series, and undaunted is Avery Johnson, who has made adjustments before in his career when he has lost early and has hung in there. Remember the Houston Rockets a couple of years ago? They were down 2-0, made some adjustments against the pick and roll of the Rockets. He went back to the bigger lineup tonight to go with Eric Dampier. And he said to us before the game, he says, look, I know how Don Nelson's going to play, and I'm going to have to just see how the first game goes, and then I still can make further adjustments in game 2, and he did that. And of course, the two respect each other tremendously. Avery Johnson, who was the point guard for Don Nelson and an assistant coach, and Nelson paved the way so Avery became the head coach.
Well, when you're the schoolyard bully and you've been going around taking lunch money, you don't need to adjust. You make someone come in there and take your lunch money. You don't need to change your lineup.
And that'll do it. So the Dallas Mavericks, with an impressive second half performance, will win it 112 to 99. Key for them as you look at the game 2, 7 out of 8. The Mavericks 37 of 43 from the free throw line. A big difference in the game. Jason Terry with 28, the leading scorer. Nowitzki had 23. Josh Howard with 22, a double-double. And Steven Jackson had 30 for the Warriors before he was ejected from the game. And the series will shift now to the Bay Area. 112 to 99, the final score. And Jerry Stackhouse, who came alive after a scoreless game 1, is with Pam Oliver.
He certainly did come alive in this one, as did Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Terry. Describe the efforts of just everybody in this victory tonight.
Yeah, we were just really disappointed in our effort in game 1, and we just, going to come out and play our game. We got back to our lineup, playing our bigs. And we just had a lot of energy tonight, and and we were glad, we got 112 points, so we were able to force the tempo. We didn't, was scared to run with them, and I think we did a good job with that tonight.
What's the forecast for this series? Some fiery moments on both sides tonight. Maybe no love lost between these two teams. What's your anticipation for the rest of it?
Those aren't any fireworks. That's just some little baby firecrackers. They don't really want to do nothing. I mean, we just want to play the game. We feel that, we worked hard all season to win 67 games and put ourselves in this position. We lose one game, but we feel like, we're going to go to Golden State, play our game, and see what happens.
Nice job, Jerry. Thank you. Now let's go back over to Dick Stockton.
All right, Pam, thank you very much. So the Dallas Mavericks respond with a win at home, and our final score tonight, the Mavericks 112, the Warriors 99. For Reggie Miller, Pam Oliver, and the rest of the crew, I'm Dick Stockton saying good night from Dallas. TNT is your exclusive home for the Eastern Conference Finals. And right now, let's send it to Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studio for Inside the NBA.
All right, thank you, Dick. We are raring to go with Inside the NBA. It comes your way just moments from now. Highlights of all 3 games and what they're saying after the game. And, of course, Pam Oliver's on the scene there.
You know who Steven Jackson remind me of?
Who?
T.O.
And
I'm going to get T.O. in here next week.
Insight like that.
Can I have T.O. on the show next week?
No, why don't we keep it to basketball? That'd be a novel concept.
He thinks he can play basketball.
just a bit outside.
It was a perfect strike, and you know it. Of course, if this chump were watching in DirecTV HD, he'd have made the right call. It's broadcast in 1080i, which means it's cool. Now, let's see how this bruise looks in HD.
Vaughn into his motion and the pitch. Uh-oh.
For the most sports in HD, you gotta get DirecTV.
Like I said, we live in a society where the individual ego and the group dynamic are in constant struggle.
Response? Yeah, I have a response. What?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Nobody said this was going to be easy.
Now, see, if Geico.com had taken that approach, instead of telling everyone it's so easy a caveman can do it, I wouldn't be having an existential meltdown right now.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
Hey, it's Anna. Don't be late for my match.
I promise Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai, is on the way.
Hot soup, $4. Cold medicine, $11. Blanket, $24. Making it all better. Priceless. With PayPass on your MasterCard, just tap and go.
Hey, what's wrong?
Joe's athlete's foot. He takes me off, puts me on, takes me off, smearing on those creams over and over.
Ah, show him the new stuff. It's new Lamisil Gel Advanced.
It's blue?
Yes. Its revolutionary cooling gel penetrates faster, and it gets rid of athlete's foot with half the treatments of the other stuff. It's the most advanced medicine out there.
Half the treatments? Never heard of that before.
That's because it's new, laddie. New Lamisil Gel Advanced. Half the treatments, all the cure.
When you think of it, children have always been able to put a smile on your face. Why not do something to put a smile on theirs? Please join McDonald's in supporting Ronald McDonald House Charities as we make the lives a little brighter for over 10,000 children and their families every day of the year.
I am a member of USA Basketball.
I pledge to represent the United States
with dignity and honor, to be dedicated and practice hard every day,
to play with the passion
and a commitment to teamwork.
It is a privilege to put on a USA Basketball uniform.
As an ambassador of USA Basketball, I will display sportsmanship
both on and off the court
and protect the values of the game.
Coming in August, the national team competes against Argentina, Puerto Rico, Mexico, and others in the FIBA Americas Championship 2007. For more information, visit FIBAAmericas.com.
Meet Curtis. He's got words of wisdom.
Don't touch me, I don't know where your hands be.
Words of encouragement.
Clean that up.
He's got, well, lots of words.
What the hell?
Don't miss the all-new comedy series House of Pain, premiering June 6th at 9 on TBS.
It's Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai. We start at the podium with Don Nelson. The series is now 1-1.
We didn't?
Not as much.
I don't go over game strategies.
Is that what you saw? Then write it. Anything else? Thank you very much.
That was really good. Some outstanding timing getting the tail end of Nelly's press conference as Golden State goes home, tied up 1-1 with Dallas, 112-99 the final. Here are the
We get ready to show the highlights again. We just watched the game.
We're not doing this for you, Chuck. We're doing it for the viewers out there.
Well, I got to
Gans
suffer through it.
back in the starting lineup. There's Monta Ellis, who had a great start to this game, Kenny.
He had a great start. What they started out was penetration, getting to the bucket. But the same thing would be said about Dallas. The penetration was the different. And I think because you have the big guys in, those smaller players can't leave those big guys, and it allows Jason Terry, Devin Harris to get to the hole.
Golden State had a 2-point lead after one. There's some second period action as Steven Jackson drives for a couple. Third period at 64-60, and then mixing it up.
One thing that's going to hurt Dallas in the next round.
Next round?
Yeah, next round.
Okay.
They're not playing with the same defensive intensity. This would have been a great way for them. This ain't nothing, Ernie.
Well, a little.
That ain't nothing,
mixing
Ernie.
it up
Ain't
just
there ain't no fighters out there. Give me a break. I'm just saying, but these guys aren't fighters. These guys are lovers.
Yeah, Jason
Look at that.
Terry's
See?
in there, Sagana Jobson.
Look at that. You see, nobody's pushing.
And then Jerry Stackhouse has it knocked away. Now look, Baron Davis.
I'm trying to figure out what Baron was complaining about. I hit a guy like that and they put him in jail for the night.
And Baron is over there applauding, and they toss him. So
Baron didn't feel like playing tonight. I think his knee was hurting. I thought he played really stiff. He just didn't want to play.
That was at the tail end of the third period when that happened. Dirk Nowitzki has the ball knocked away. There's Steven Jackson taking exception, and it wouldn't be long before Steven Jackson was also ejected from this one.
This is crazy right here when he wouldn't lead the court in a timely manner. This is going to be a fine for sure.
Golden State probably be happy if it is just a fine. 112-99.
Well, I hope it is just a fine. It was stupid, but it's just a fine. You can't suspend him for being a nitwit.
Jackson with 30 in a losing effort. Dallas wins at 112-99, and Dirk Nowitzki finishes with 23 and 7. You said at halftime that not only would Dallas win this game, but Dallas would not lose again in the series.
You know, like I say, Dallas got a better team. I think once they beat Golden State the first time, I think they're going to realize, because when you look at Golden State play, they just play for fun. They take terrible shots. Sometimes they go in, but now I think that now they're going to realize, oops, we're in the playoffs. And we're playing against a team that won 68 games. They're a better team. I really do think Dallas is going to win the next 3 games.
Well, I think Dallas is going to win the series, but going home is going to give Golden State that confidence that they had in the first game. I think that home crowd who hasn't seen a playoff game in 13 years, is
94, yep.
In 13 years, will rejuvenate a team and give them more confidence. And I think some shots will go, and it will be very difficult for them.
First of all, if they had more confidence, they think they were Michael Jordan. They're already confident, but I think something Reggie said was very important. If this had been a close game, it would really have helped Golden State. I think getting blown out like they did, first and foremost, and losing their composure is really going to hurt them.
Dallas 112-99. Avery Johnson is at the podium. Let's see if we get more from him than we got from Nelly.
Was this the type of pace game that you would like, Coach?
Well, again, we like to run sometimes. Sometimes we like to run our half-court offense. Fortunately, tonight, we just made a few more shots and, got a few more stops.
Was you pleased with Buckner? He came in the third quarter. It seemed like he did something really special for you when they were trying to make their run.
Yeah, again, Buck, even though he only played 9 minutes, when he was in there, he gave us some good energy. We had a stretch there where we had some of our bench guys in, and, again, Stack had a bounce-back game tonight. And when he plays the way he played tonight and as aggressive as he played, and Dirk and Jet and Josh, we're just a different ball club. They understand they have a huge responsibility to the team. And, sometimes we're pretty small out there, especially when I don't have a center out there. And, those guys got to rebound. So again, a lot of our bench contributed in different ways tonight. Stack had the points and the free throws and the rebounds. Jop had rebounds, and he contested a lot of shots.
Did you see that sense of desperation or urgency that you were looking for?
Well, again, when we have a healthy respect for our opponent, and when we're playing at a high level, we can be pretty good. And, if we don't miss 11 layups. So again, we got 19 offensive rebounds the last game, but we didn't finish them. We got 12 offensive rebounds tonight, and I thought we did a much better job of just finishing around the basket.
What did you think Ghana brought?
Apparently some of Greg Buckner's kin in the media corps, they're asking about the impact that Greg had in his 9 minutes and 35 seconds, Charles. No points, 3 fouls, and
1 turnover.
Rebound.
And, he made an impact on the game. I'm trying to figure it out. No disrespect, Greg Buckner,
but an early question in the press conference.
Wow, he must have a relative in the press corps.
So what'd you think of what you saw from Dallas tonight and their effort and what Avery did in this game strategy-wise?
I think that they were very comfortable. And the reason they were comfortable because everyone was back to their normal position. And the biggest thing about changing that lineup that Avery did, it shortened his bench rotation. And his bench rotation became shorter because now he was not going to play Jop as much and he was not going to play Dampier. And then Devin George is now inserted into the starting lineup. So now this deep, long Maverick bench becomes short. And I think that's how they won 66 game. Not because they could have changed the lineup. They could have brought Devin George in for 4 minutes early in the first quarter. But when you shorten your rotation, it also shortens you on winning.
While you are nodding off over there, we do want to...
First of all, it was stupid. It was just stupid to change that starting lineup. They went to the finals last year. They got the best record in the NBA. That was just stupid.
As we saw in the highlights, you saw Stephen Jackson.
What you say? I ain't hear you.
And Baron Davis ejected from this game a short time ago. Don Nelson did address that situation.
I thought it was a fairly good game for a while. We didn't stay in charge of our emotions, and we just can't. We're not good enough to lose a player on an ejection alone too. And that's 2 of my best players, and it really hurt us, I thought, when we lost Barron. I thought we had a shot at that time, but wasn't to be. So we'll try to do a better job of that in the future.